Hello everyone, welcome to a live stream here this evening. We're going to be talking about severe weather as we move through the rest of today, and especially here into the day tomorrow. That's our main focus, as we have a major, potentially significant severe weather outbreak to unfold as we head into tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, and then all the way through tomorrow night into early Sunday morning. So we got a lot of severe weather to talk about. Just before I do start, guys, can you guys hear me here in the live stream? Definitely chat down if you guys can hear me, and if you guys can, I will be able to kind of go forward with the live stream. So definitely chat. The live chat is open, so definitely let me know if you can hear me. Otherwise, I will adjust my audio to get it to work right. So Drew and Gaming, can you guys hear me in the chat? Anybody else out there, if you guys can hear me, definitely let me know, and I can get started here. Again, I will try and get started here, kind of looking over radar kind of warnings right now. We're going to get through the warnings right now, and then we'll kind of look ahead mainly to the rest of today. And then a large part of this live stream is actually going to be focused on tomorrow. So that's what we'll be looking at. We don't have tons of severe weather today, just a couple warnings down into northwestern Kansas and the northern portions of North Dakota. But again, if you guys can hear me, let me know in the chat if you guys can hear me clearly. Again, is it clear though, Drew, or am I kind of going in and out? Just let me know. But again, I'll get started up here. We got a severe thunderstorm watch for a few counties up near Minot, North Dakota here this evening. The severe thunderstorm warning goes in effect here till early Sunday morning. This goes in effect until 1 a.m. Central Daylight Time on Sunday morning. So several hours to go on this severe thunderstorm watch box. And that means conditions are favorable for the development here of severe thunderstorms capable of damaging winds, large hail, and of course that heavy rain threat, as well as that frequent lightning here as well with all these storms. You're going to have to turn me up a little bit. Okay, let me try and fix that a little bit for you guys. Okay, how is that? How about that? Just let me know, guys. Like yesterday, I kind of had to adjust some of these audio problems before I really get going on here. But thank you guys for joining. Drew Ferguson as well as Gaming. Gaming just took a look at Saturday's convective outlook. These parameters are looking pretty rough for an enhanced risk. Yes, they are pretty. A lot of these parameters are hitting pretty high. This is probably a higher end enhanced risk here than we've seen in quite a while. And I'm not even, we'll get more into the Saturday's threat here in just a moment, but I'm not even throwing out the idea that maybe an upgrade to a moderate risk may need to be, possible in the day one outlook. So we'll get to that here in just a moment. But looking at the warnings across this area, I'm going to be live streaming tomorrow. Yes, Drew. Yeah, I'm going to be live streaming the entire severe weather event tomorrow through the height of mainly starting probably late afternoon, probably 3, 4, 5 o'clock kind of when it starts, and then I'll be going live probably through most of the evening tomorrow. So do spread the word out there, guys. Yeah, I'll probably be going live tomorrow for sure. I'm 99.9% sure I'll be live tomorrow, if not 100% sure, with that severe weather outbreak possible tomorrow. But we do have a severe thunderstorm warning in the northern portions of North Dakota, right along the North Dakota and Canada border here, just northwest of Minot. We have a severe thunderstorm capable of golf ball size hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, guys. So we got that almost up to close to that 2-inch diameter hailstone potential across here, these areas as well. Just 6 miles west of Sherwood, North Dakota. Excuse me. Just 6 miles west of Sherwood, North Dakota, or 18 miles northwest of Muhall. This is moving east, so it's moving east at 30 miles per hour. So it looks like it's going to stay in the United States territory here as it continues to move its way to the east. Again, areas like Mohall, Lansford, Sherwood, Antler, Tolly, Norma, and Lorain, all these areas here in North Dakota, far northern North Dakota that is, will be under this severe thunderstorm warning. Again, this warning goes in effect until 9 p.m. Central Daylight Time for northwestern Bottineau County, Renville County, and northeastern Burke counties here into northern and northwestern most areas here of North Dakota. Again, this thunderstorm is actually affecting areas across the border as well into southern Canada, so not just North Dakota here, so that's kind of extending back up into portions there of Canada as well. So we're watching that area near Minot. Moving down to the south, we don't have a watch down here But we've had a couple severe thunderstorm warnings with some big hail-producing storms. And just before I did come on the live stream, we actually did see a tornado warning, I think, with one of these cells into northwest Kansas here. We actually do have trained weather spotters confirming 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. So that 1-inch hail at 7:50 Central Daylight Time here, so about a half an hour ago, estimated 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts were reported 2 miles north of Hoxie, Kansas. So 2 miles to the north of Hoxie, Kansas, trained weather spotters at 7:50 p.m. Central Daylight Time estimated around 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and that's what the storm is capable of producing. 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts and that 1-inch quarter-size hail. This is located 4 miles east of Hoxie now. This is moving southeast at 20 miles per hour. Areas near Tasco and Studley, Kansas, in southeastern Sheridan County here in Kansas, and northwest Kansas, that is, will be in effect with this storm here until 8:45 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Moving down to the farther to the southwest, this has a bigger hail core on it. This is producing some ping pong ball size hail, as well as that 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts here potential with this storm. This was located 15 miles south of Oakley, Kansas. Again, this one's moving to the southeast as well at 15 miles per hour, mainly over kind of some open areas in east central Logan and west central Gove counties here into northwestern Kansas. We'll watch that. Again, this one goes in effect until 8:30 p.m. Central Daylight Time for east central Logan County and west central Gove County here into northwest Kansas. So we'll continue to watch that as we move here through the next few minutes here in the next hour or so. Looking at the Storm Prediction Center's outlook here as we head through today, like I said earlier during my video, I was going to go live during the going live today with a slight risk, and we actually do it. We have 2 slight risk upgrades here. The newest outlook that came out here at 8 p.m. or thereabout here this evening from the Storm Prediction Center actually did upgrade a couple areas to a slight risk. We got that slight risk across northern North Dakota and that northwestern Kansas area here, that 2 out of 5, for mainly those storms that are kind of ongoing right now across those areas. So right now we're kind of seeing that. We got kind of another marginal risk across southeastern Nebraska here, getting through much of Iowa, so areas like Des Moines, Omaha, getting back towards Cedar Rapids, Iowa City, Waterloo, Mason City, then kind of getting up towards portions there of Peoria, Illinois, near the I-80 corridor, in northern Illinois, Chicago, Madison, Wisconsin, Milwaukee, getting over towards South Bend, Indiana here, the Fort Wayne area, and then perhaps over towards Gary, Indiana, as well as southwestern lower Michigan. We got another marginal risk across northwestern portions there of Minnesota, getting down here into southeastern North Dakota as well into the overnight hours. We do have a 2% chance of tornadoes across northwestern portions of Kansas as well as northern North Dakota. We're watching with those ongoing thunderstorms. And then we got that kind of the damaging wind risk here with a 5% shading. That's in that marginal risk or that dark green zone. And then that yellow shading here with that 15% kind of goes along with that yellow shading of the slight risk zone for that severe damaging wind gust. That could be around 70 miles per hour at the strongest. And then the hail risk is a little higher across North Dakota there with kind of some better upper level dynamics moving across those areas as we kind of move a little bit forward through the evening hours. So guys, if you guys have not pressed the like button down there, I do encourage you guys to do so. Also, anybody who has not subscribed to the YouTube channel, definitely press the subscribe button down below. Again, you just have to press the button one time for subscribing and liking it, and definitely helps out the YouTube algorithm and getting this out to more and more people, because we will be talking about Saturday's severe weather setup in detail, very fine detail here in the live stream, and something you guys do not want to miss. So that we'll be talking about that here momentarily. So do stay tuned to that, everybody. But looking kind of at the weather forecast models here for today, let's kind of move it up towards North Dakota and kind of show you on the HRRR model what we can expect as we move towards the rest of this evening. We got those storms kind of really blowing up here. We might have a little bit of some bowing out here. Not too big of a deal, but I do think we still have some large hail and damaging winds to get through across portions. Getting into northeastern North Dakota and coming out of southern Canada, especially southwestern Manitoba as we head here into the evening hours towards the midnight time frame. And then as we kind of move a little bit farther here, these storms will kind of move into portions of northern Minnesota here and northwest Minnesota, with some back building across northeastern portions there, like of North Dakota here. Maybe some scattered showers getting back farther to the west across portions of eastern and northeastern Montana, western Dakotas. Those won't be too big of a deal. I think the main severe weather risk will be across southeastern portions there of North Dakota getting into northwestern Minnesota here into the overnight hours. This is getting well after midnight now, and this will continue as we head into that time frame. And then these storms will kind of fizzle out as they push to the east, and then a secondary here kind of area of convection may start to fire across portions there of the eastern Dakotas with another piece of energy moving in from the north and west here as we get into Saturday morning. And that is kind of the piece of energy we're watching for some growth into a kind of a complex of storms as we move into the day tomorrow. That will correspond to the Saturday outlook for severe weather. So that's kind of what we're seeing out there right now. So that is what we are talking about. All right, so let's kind of look at right now. This is a kind of an earth cam we like to look at. Well, apparently there's an advertisement. Let's kind of look. All right, so this is the Dallas skyline, guys. This is well, apparently let's wait till the advertisement goes away because there's an advertisement apparently. All right, guys, yeah, this is the live look for you guys, the St. Louis Arch there on the, we are right now currently looking from the Illinois side toward the Missouri side of things, looking across the river there, and you can see that arch. The sun is starting to set here, just a few upper level clouds across the St. Louis area here this evening. Not many clouds out there, a lot of warm temperatures. Look at the high temperature right now here in St. Louis. It is 100 degrees in St. Louis right now here at 8:28 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Very hot temperatures out there this evening in the St. Louis area. So again, yeah, some very hot temperatures. You do want to take your precautions here and, drinking plenty of water to stay hydrated out there. Again, very quiet in St. Louis. Very nice picturesque kind of look here to the St. Louis Arch as we head through the rest of this evening. Looking over here at the Dallas side of things, it's 99 degrees in Dallas here at 8:28 p.m. Central Daylight Time. And you can see the Dallas skyline here. Lots of cars moving across those bridges over there to the right-hand side of your screen. All those skyscrapers. You got some kind of taller, higher level clouds across the area, kind of, if you look kind of faintly above the skyscrapers there. And you can see a lot of haze out there as well on the Dallas-Fort Worth kind of metroplex area right now. And that's due to the fact that we have a lot of heat out there, a lot of heat and some wildfires here, maybe some smoke in the air with some of the wildfires down south and the southern plains area as well. So that's kind of a live look out there for you guys, using the earth cam out there for the St. Louis area, looking at the arch, and also looking here at the Dallas-Fort Worth area this evening. So I thought that was kind of cool for you guys to see. Getting back to the radar again, we're still watching those storms in northwestern Kansas, and then still kind of watching those storms in the portions of northern North Dakota as well. Now let's start talking about Saturday. We got Saturday's outlook here. This was updated around 3 o'clock this afternoon. They have made some adjustments, and I did want to address this here to everybody on the live stream. Again, one more question here before I do start with the Saturday outlook and kind of really breaking down the kind of impacts and kind of the setup for what we could expect tomorrow and why all these things are coming together for a potentially significant severe weather outbreak. So once again, I'm going to ask, can you guys all hear me on the live stream? Again, if you guys can hear me, just say yes down below in the live chat. Again, everybody can do so. That's, in the live stream right now, so it can kind of help me. So I'm, not talking to the wall. So I'm talking to you guys on the live stream. Just let me know down below. Give me some feedback. If you guys can hear me clearly, definitely just say yes down below in the live chat. Would be much appreciated, guys. Again, if you guys are also just joining here, again, just let me know down in the live chat if you guys can hear me. Otherwise, I'll have to fix my audio just a little bit, kind of tuning it out a little bit. Hopefully, it's not echoing for you guys. And also, if you guys are just tuning into the live stream, definitely press the like button down below as well as subscribe. Very much appreciated as well, guys. Just kind of waiting for somebody to say yes, they can hear me clearly. I think Drew did earlier, but I'm just still making sure that everybody can hear me nice and clearly before I get started here. So anybody in the live chat, if you guys can hear me, please say yes down below. If you guys can all hear me clearly, let me know, because I definitely want to have a clear live chat here for you guys. I don't want my audio to be kind of, bad for the live stream. So, anybody at all gonna say yes, no, maybe so? You guys can hear me, right? I feel like you guys can't hear me because nobody's saying anything. Well, anyway, there's an enhanced risk across southeastern Minnesota here, northeastern and northern Iowa here as we head into the day tomorrow. We have another large area of an enhanced risk covering much of central, northwestern Wisconsin and southern portions of Wisconsin. That has been added recently in the newest outlook from the Storm Prediction Center here at 3 o'clock this afternoon. They did kind of expand that enhanced risk a little bit farther south, I think by a one or two counties, tier of counties southward for your Saturday afternoon. And that was due to kind of some of the trends that I will show you here in the model forecasts of what we could expect as we head through tomorrow. We got a large slight risk as well. I didn't want to discount that. We got a slight risk extending up into northern Wisconsin, the extreme southwestern corner there of the UP of Michigan, as well as getting back here towards central Iowa and northeastern Nebraska tomorrow, and then that marginal risk kind of extending in through portions of Ohio, the entire state of Michigan, most of the state there of Indiana, including northern and eastern Indiana, including the Indianapolis area, Chicago, Illinois, getting down toward the I-80 corridor here in northern Illinois as well. And then that marginal risk kind of extends back toward the Lincoln area and Omaha area as we kind of move into the day tomorrow as well. Actually, Omaha is very close. You're kind of on that line between marginal and slight risk for tomorrow. So that's kind of an outline of what you can see. Okay, Weatherman said, hello, how are you? Hopefully all you guys can hear me clearly again. I asked for everybody to say yes here in the chat if you guys can hear me clearly, but apparently you guys can because you're not saying much. So. We're seeing a 5% chance of tornadoes across much of western and central Wisconsin, northeastern portions of Iowa, and much of eastern and especially southeastern Minnesota tomorrow. Then you got that large 2% zone really across the entire Great Lakes region for tornado potential. An isolated tornado potential tomorrow. That's not the main threat. The main threat will be the damaging straight line winds. We have the 30% hatched risk of severe damaging winds that could be over 75 miles per hour across much of central and especially southern Wisconsin, northeastern Iowa, and southeastern Minnesota here. And then we got that kind of hail risk as well with those initial storms with that 15% hatched area of hail that could be over 2 inches in diameter across southern portions of Minnesota, getting into western and northwestern Wisconsin as well. So that's what we're kind of looking at with the hazards here tomorrow. Again, that's kind of the update from the Storm Prediction Center as of 3 o'clock this afternoon. I do expect a little bit more tweaking to this probably with the Storm Prediction Center's outlook here, getting towards the the 1 a.m. hour as they come out with the day 1 outlook. So we'll definitely have to monitor that. Again, I probably won't be live obviously at 1 in the morning, but definitely we'll be kind of fine tuning this with my video in the morning for you guys. I'll have a daily video forecast update for you guys here in the morning tomorrow that you guys can watch to kind of get your bearings on what to expect as we move through the afternoon and evening tomorrow. Looking now here kind of at the individual model forecast, let's kind of use the HRRR real quick and kind of zoom out towards the Midwest here. And this is the latest HRRR here. This is the 0Z, so rather accurate kind of look at what we can expect tomorrow. You can see as we move through time here through the morning hours, we got kind of a complex of storms here moving through tonight. The HRRR is kind of throwing out across eastern Iowa, northwestern Illinois, and perhaps far southern tier of counties toward the Cheddar Curtain there in southern Wisconsin. Again, this will probably be more of a elevated hail threat here, probably not seeing much in the way of damaging winds or anything like that. I think this will be more of warm air advection driven, so it's kind of along the leading edge of a warm front as it tries to advance to the northeast overnight tonight. Again, this will be more of a heavy rain, isolated flash flooding, and maybe a hail threat with this, kind of some elevated thunderstorms. These shouldn't be too surface rooted, so I'm not too worried about a damaging wind threat or tornado threat with these, just because it's kind of coming at an unfavorable time of day, because the sun will be, have set by then here. It's already setting out my door now. I'm looking out my window. Very dark outside, so we're starting to see the sunset, and the stabilization will be kicking in here. So not looking at surface-based storms, but if we do, it'll probably be mainly some large hail and maybe some heavy rainfall, and of course all that lightning out there as well. This will kind of move through portions of northern Illinois, trying to sneak down south of I-80 there towards Peoria, Illinois, as well as southeastern Iowa, and then over toward the Chicagoland area here from Waukegan all the way down towards Kankakee there in the Chicagoland area. Again, expect some heavy rainfall during the afternoon hours here tonight. And again, as we kind of move through the day tomorrow, this complex will move down towards the Indianapolis area, starting to weaken as it does so, and then they'll start to see some outflow boundaries, probably reinforcing the warm front a little farther to the south for a time during the Saturday morning time frame. which will have direct impacts to what we can expect during the afternoon is what I'm seeing right now. And then looking to the north and west, we got the HRRR is still showing that complex of storms starting to gather across the eastern Dakotas and western portions of Minnesota during the morning hours tomorrow. This will propagate across southern Minnesota here in central Minnesota as we head towards the midday hours tomorrow into the early afternoon. This could bring some the very large hail potential. This could be the complex here, especially in the southern end, the southernmost storms of this complex, closer to the stronger instability, will actually be able to produce that tornado threat a little bit more because it has kind of some open inflow, as well as the potential for some, the strongest hail cores with the potential for, over 2-inch hail, and even the potential as well for over, 75 mile per hour wind gusts, especially as it starts to kind of increase in intensity and coverage as we move through the afternoon here, as the instability really starts to strengthen with that low level jet as we get through the afternoon and especially the evening tomorrow. Then as this kind of propagates to the south and east here across southeastern Minnesota, northern Iowa here, maybe some stronger thunderstorms trying to get across portions there of northwestern Wisconsin. I think the strongest storms here where you see the purples and reds will kind of be across southeastern Minnesota, northern Iowa as we get towards mid-afternoon tomorrow, so around 2, 3 o'clock. Can expect this across northern Iowa. Again, very large hail, potentially the threat for 75-plus mile-hour winds, and you can't rule out a few tornadoes within this, especially with those leading edge storms. You got to kind of get some kinks in the line or kind of some rotation along the leading edge. Again, these tornadoes are usually not large, but you can still expect the potential for at least EF0 to EF2 strength tornadoes across these areas as we get towards the mid-afternoon hours. Mr. Tank says, dang, yeah, we got some severe weather, significant severe weather outbreak tomorrow. Thank you guys for joining. Again, everybody who has joined, definitely press the like button down below as well as subscribe. Definitely means a lot to me, and it definitely gets us out to more and more people on YouTube, talking about here kind of the setup for tomorrow. Again, we'll dive really deep into the kind of the setup and why we're seeing all this here in just a moment. But just kind of showing you some models real quick to kind of show you there still are some differences. So we'll definitely show you that. Again, the HRRR has been consistent showing it across southeastern Minnesota, but the latest runs actually show the HRRR showing the strongest part of the MCS cluster actually pushing through more of southern Wisconsin versus northern or central Wisconsin here, which is kind of a difference in what we were seeing earlier today. So that's kind of was my thinking all along, even well before these models did come out and talk about this. I was actually showing, I was actually telling everybody that, the storms, I'm expecting this to kind of turn more to the east-southeast and then more southward with time, just due to the fact that I've seen a lot of these MCS events here in past years. And I definitely, again, I have a lot of knowledge about severe weather. Of course, there's always room for improvement. Again, everybody's not perfect here, and the models are not perfect as well. But just kind of looking at this, you can kind of get that kind of sense that, yeah, that's going to probably be turning more southward. And I'll show you why I expect that here as we move forward in time. But as we get towards late afternoon here, we'll be feeding off that instability, might even be getting into parts of far northern Illinois, potentially as we get into the late afternoon hours, prime time heating. So we could be seeing maybe some significant damaging winds down toward the Highway 20 corridor towards Rockford, Illinois, Dubuque, Iowa, maybe the northern suburbs of the Chicagoland area here, at least on this model. So that's what we'll expect. More explosive storms back across southern Minnesota, northwestern Iowa as we head towards the peak time frame here, early, late afternoon, early evening. We'll watch that, and those will propagate across Wisconsin. And those ones will be more concerning for heavy rain and flash flooding threat across central and southern Wisconsin here as we head towards the evening hours tomorrow. So if we were to have kind of a flash flooding risk, I think this will be across more of central Wisconsin, so Madison up toward the Dells, back toward Rochester, Minnesota, and then maybe just south of the Green Bay area. At least on this model run, that's probably what we're seeing. For maybe a flash flooding threat with kind of some back building of storms with a continuous kind of strong low-level jet that I'll show you here in a moment on this model of kind of, pushing into this area. And then kind of looking at the convection here, kind of looking at the instability with the HRRR model will really build this instability up. And why I'm expecting this kind of complex to shift more to the southeast tomorrow is because of, if you look at the instability here in the HRRR model during the mid to late afternoon hours, we got the higher values here across southern Wisconsin, northern Illinois, and eastern Iowa. And a lot of times the MCSs like to, or mesoscale convective systems as they're called, they like to, to move along an instability gradient. So if you kind of extrapolate this from southern and southeastern Minnesota, where you did see the HRRR show that, complex of storms, this will actually drop more southeast here eventually with time, as what we call like kind of a thermal gradient or kind of a thermal thickness here in the atmosphere. And that really the instability gradient here takes this across southern Wisconsin, northern and northeastern Illinois toward the Chicagoland area here. If you kind of extrapolate that as we move through the afternoon and evening. Again, that's just according to one model run. Again, don't put all your money in the bank on that. But we are seeing some values here for the supercell composite here once this does load. Yeah, you're seeing some values here. Supercell composite values getting pretty high as we move through the afternoon hours here tomorrow. Again, you see those bright reds, purples there, very high up on the chart for, some supercell potential tomorrow, the very large hail, the very strong damaging winds. I think that'll be the main mode of severe weather. And again, the potential is there for a few tornadoes as well. Again, I think the main tornado risk will be early on in the evolution here. Again, you can't rule out a tornado across the leading edge of this here. You always see that with MCSs. Again, I'm not thinking, we're probably not talking about a derecho, but definitely an MCS cluster that could definitely be long-lived, perhaps from, the eastern Dakotas all the way through at least northwestern Indiana potentially, as we head into tomorrow. Again, according to this model. So we'll definitely have to continue to watch that as we get a little bit closer here. And looking kind of at the temperatures as well, this is kind of what we also call kind of a thermal gradient as well. What could happen during the morning is that those morning storms, if they kind of linger during the, the overnight hours towards northern Illinois, could kind of hinder the daytime heating or kind of delay it for a little, a few more hours later than what this model run is showing. And if that does happen, that'll kind of push the heat a little farther southward across eastern Iowa, northern Illinois, and perhaps far southern Wisconsin. And actually, the storms will track right along this gradient here. So areas of northern Wisconsin, northeastern Wisconsin, or the UP of Michigan, I'm not sounding the all clear for you quite yet. But I do think the trends are actually shifting this away from your area. So I think it's starting to shift this more towards central, and especially I think I'm really eyeing southern Wisconsin, northeastern Iowa, and far northern and northeastern Illinois right now, and maybe into portions of northwestern Indiana with time as we move through the day tomorrow. So that's kind of what the trends are looking like on this model right now. Again, a lot of the models have been trending that way, so that's what we'll be watching. Roger says, hello from Indiana. Well, hello. I live in northern Illinois. I'm kind of potentially in the path tomorrow for the severe weather. Again, if you guys just joined, definitely be much appreciated if you guys would drop the like down below. We have 8 likes down below. Again, if you guys press the like button, you definitely gets this to more and more people out here kind of watching the live stream, and definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. That helps the algorithm out of, more people getting on the live stream, so we can let them know to stay safe tomorrow for all the severe weather upcoming. We'll go over a lot of model forecasts for you guys as well. Grace Goodrich, she says, where there be storms in Longville, Minnesota tomorrow? Oh, will there be storms in Longville, Minnesota tomorrow? I want to know because I'm up at my cabin for the weekend. Okay, yeah, I'll let you know here in just a moment. Let me actually look up where that is on the radar here. We do have some new warnings into portions of northern Minnesota, or northern North Dakota rather. We'll get to here in just a moment. So you said Longville, right? Longville, Minnesota, right? Okay, so I'm not seeing okay, here it is. It just takes forever to load. Longville. Must be a smaller town. Okay, so that's in north central Minnesota. You guys should be fine. I would watch if you live in Longville right now, if you're there now or live there. I would watch out for some storms later on tonight, maybe early tomorrow morning. I think more than anything else, that'll be more of a elevated hail risk. And mainly the potential for some heavy rainfall and maybe an isolated 50, 60 mile per hour wind gust. But I really think the main mode will be heavy rainfall. And that's due to the fact that we kind of have an MCS trying to develop across northern North Dakota right now. And that'll kind of propagate across northern Minnesota as we head here into tomorrow morning. So definitely be on the lookout for that, Grace, if you live in Longville, Minnesota, for tomorrow morning. Again, during the afternoon, I think the main threat zone will actually shift down well southeast of the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. So you guys should be good for the afternoon hours and evening tomorrow is what it's looking like now anyway. So that's what the trends are looking for. And again, the dew points there, we got a lot of the corn this time of year maturing down to the south across much of northern Illinois, Iowa, big corn crop state there as well. That's why the dew points will be rising well into the 70s, perhaps the mid 70s across these areas as well. Okay, what about the Twin Cities? I live there and want to know about that because I'm not at home. The Twin Cities, well, currently you guys are actually under, let me look here. You got the Twin Cities, Minneapolis, St. Paul. You guys are actually under an enhanced risk. So you're under that enhanced risk right now of that 5% chance of tornadoes. Again, I think mainly the damaging wind and hail risk tomorrow. So if you live in the Twin Cities, you have a significant chance for wind gusts over 75 mile per hour tomorrow afternoon and over 2 inches in diameter for hail. So you guys are actually in that significant corridor in the Minneapolis, St. Paul area for some damaging thunderstorms tomorrow. Weatherman says Twin Cities around 1 o'clock, 1 to 2 o'clock. That's what it looks like now, but I mean, a lot of these kind of complexes of storms are very tricky to forecast this time of year, so we'll just keep an eye on it. Again, it does probably favor an earlier day arrival across those areas, but again, this could be south of Minneapolis, St. Paul as well. There's still a lot of moving parts here, guys, so I'll show you that in the models right now as I'm showing you now. Again, so let's kind of look at, without kind of looking at the setup more, so we can get kind of a comparison of the models, guys. You can see the HRRR showing that kind of moving through southern Wisconsin. I am kind of worried about a flash flooding risk right along and south of the Twin Cities tomorrow into portions of La Crosse, getting down towards Madison, Milwaukee as we head towards tomorrow, maybe up to as far north as Green Bay. Again, I think the northern and northeastern portions of Wisconsin are really kind of safe. Again, I'm not putting the all clear out for you guys quite yet, but definitely the potential is growing that you guys will miss out on the MCS cluster tomorrow if you live north of Green Bay or north of the Wisconsin Dells up towards the the Rhinelander, all those areas of northern Wisconsin. So that's kind of what it's looking like right now as we move through tomorrow. Yeah, if you do live in Longville, you are under a slight risk. But I really think, again, the strongest, most intense severe weather as it's looking now on this model anyway, the HRRR is pretty accurate sometimes. And yeah, it looks like southern Wisconsin, northeastern Iowa, and southeastern Minnesota, and maybe even far northern Illinois is really in line, I think, for the brunt of the severe weather as it looks right now tomorrow. But we'll keep an eye on it, guys, for you. Again, there's probably going to be some more changes as we move a little bit closer here. We're still about 24 hours out from the main event here. So about 18 to 24 hours out from the main event. So things can change a little bit. Grace says okay. She also says I just have to worry about my house. Well, I'm not guaranteeing you're going to have an 80-mile-an-hour wind gust at your house specifically, and that goes for everybody in the live chat. I mean, there is a potential for damaging winds at 75 miles greater, but if you look at the Storm Prediction Center site here, 30% of this area here, that means 30% coverage of severe weather that could be over 75 miles per hour in that enhanced risk zone. So that does not guarantee everybody in the enhanced risk even is going to have the damaging winds over 75 miles per hour or the hail over 2 inches in diameter or a tornado, but the chance is there, so you definitely have to take that seriously and heed the warnings if you do get a severe thunderstorm watch, tornado watch, or even a tornado warning or severe thunderstorm warning tomorrow. Definitely take it seriously. Again, these storms could be moving pretty quickly, so we definitely want to heed the warnings out there tomorrow. Guys, if you guys are just joining, definitely like the live stream down below and subscribe to the YouTube channel. I do daily weather forecast updates, and again, I'll keep you updated on this here. A new video will be coming out in the morning for you guys to watch as we head into tomorrow morning. So definitely subscribe down below. Definitely much appreciated, guys. Let's see here. Let's go to the WRAP model because this is another short-term weather model that we like to look at. This is the 21, the 0Z is just out. Okay, so we'll look at the new run. I have not seen the 0Z for the WRAP yet, so I'll kind of get to you guys are seeing the same thing that I'm seeing right now. So let's just kind of go through this. As we move through the rest of this evening, it does kind of show that same theme, kind of like the HRRR is showing, with that kind of smaller complex of storms developing on the nose of that low-level jet across northern Illinois, eastern Iowa, maybe far southeastern Wisconsin here, mainly south of the Milwaukee area probably as we head into the overnight hours. Again, heavy rainfall along the I-88 and I-80 corridors here in northern Illinois toward the Chicagoland area, and then kind of propagating toward the northern and central Indiana, north of Indianapolis as we head toward the morning hours. And then there's that complex up to the north and the west that we're definitely keeping our eye on. The WRAP model seems to keep this a lot farther north, rather, and that's why I said That's why I said you don't want to sound the all clear, even into portions of that slight risk zone into northern Wisconsin quite yet, because the RAP model seems to think, no, this is going to be farther to the north. So there's a lot that has to go into this. Again, the HRRR is probably a good 75 miles south of what the RAP model is showing. The RAP model is 75 miles north, so there's a lot of variability still 18 to 24 hours out from this event, guys. So there's still some potential of this to move northward again, but I do really think myself, my thoughts are I've seen a lot of these mesoscale convective systems and a lot of these events over the years, and a lot of these tend to kind of move eastward at first and then drop southeast into the better instability. The better energy will be to the south, closer to the ridge axis, and a lot of times these mesoscale convective systems here and some of the models kind of misguide on some of the evapotranspiration with the kind of matured corn crop out there. They kind of underdo the dew points, which sometimes is misleading, because if the dew points overperform, that could actually lead into more CAPE or convective available potential energy, which could actually drop this MCS again farther to the southeast. It'll kind of move east and then drop southeast into the better energy. That's kind of what I've been seeing at least the past few years. A lot of these MCSs that originated in Minnesota and northern Iowa like to start to turn southeastward. And again, the analogs really support that. So we'll definitely kind of, we're not going to throw this model out of the bag, but definitely that's something we'll watch as we move into tomorrow. So some pretty significant differences between the HRRR. There's the RAP model 0Z. Here's the 0Z HRRR, and look at just how significantly different they are. Separating this complex by about 75 miles either way. So we're definitely going to have to keep watching this. Again, the RAP model, well up to the north. Twin Cities, Rhinelander getting up toward Duluth. HRRR model has it down towards portions there. Waterloo, Prairie du Chien, Wisconsin, Madison, Wisconsin. Again, easily 75 miles to the south. So something we'll definitely have to keep an eye on as we move a little farther along as well. Guys, if you guys are definitely in the live stream, the live chat is open to anyone and everyone. So definitely if you guys have any comments, questions, concerns out there about this threat or about weather in general, definitely don't hesitate to ask any questions or anything like that. I'm here to answer all your questions this evening about tomorrow, so you guys can stay safe out there. That's why I'm doing the live stream, guys, to make sure everybody stays safe. And I will have another video out in the morning, so I do very detailed weather forecast videos every single day, whether or not we have severe weather as well, guys. So another reason to subscribe down below. We're at 319 subscribers. I'm trying to get to 500, guys, so if you would very kindly just press that subscribe button. All we need here is just, a couple hundred more to get to that 500 mark, guys. Definitely be much appreciated. Also, like the live stream below as well. So let's kind of look ahead. Let's look to the NAM model. This is the main operational NAM. Again, this is just coming out now, so I might not be able to get as far. But again, the NAM is showing the same theme. Again, the complex moving through portions there of northern and northeastern Illinois, northwestern Indiana, and then it has the complex up to the north, again, farther to the northwest during the main operational NAM model here, farther up to the north across central and southern portions of Minnesota, kind of right along with what the Storm Prediction Center has been thinking as of late, going through the Twin Cities, western and northwestern Wisconsin as it looks. But looking at the NAMNIS model, and again, I can't go that far out. Let's look at the 18Z, though, however. The NAMNIS model is actually kind of a cousin to the NAM model. It's kind of another kind of outlier to this as well. Not really an outlier, but I guess kind of another run to see what this could, do. And it's been pretty consistent, showing that complex moving through the eastern Iowa and northern Illinois during the early morning hours with that storm. And this is kind of going along with more of my thinking a little bit more for tomorrow. As it kind of moves to the east, it'll really kind of follow that instability gradient. And I really favor the NAMNIS a lot of times in severe weather a little bit more because it does really kind of capture the higher evapotranspiration rates here with kind of the dew points out there and that corn crop maturing across portions of the Iowa, northern Illinois, and southern Wisconsin, and that really kind of gets closer to, because a lot, like I said before, a lot of these models underperform the dew points out there, and that has a direct effect on the corn crops because if the corn crops can evapotranspirate a lot more moisture in the air, the instability is going to be higher. So it'll follow that instability a little bit more. So we'll watch this as it kind of pushes to the southeast, and it really kind of drops this MCS, kind of turns the MCS more southeast across northern Iowa, northeastern Iowa, and into southwestern Wisconsin during the late afternoon tomorrow, and then focuses a bow echo potentially across northwestern Illinois, parts of eastern Iowa, getting through much of southern and central Wisconsin, so areas south of the Dells, getting towards Rockford, Illinois, perhaps down to the I-80 corridor. could be in line for that 75 plus mile an hour wind gust according to this model. So again, well, again, weatherman, again, the NamNIS keeps it too far to the south is what you're saying, but really, honestly, like I've said before, I've seen these events time after time after time, and I guarantee you that this is not very. I wouldn't consider this an outlier at this point. I mean, this model has actually trended very well this season. It's done very well this season for severe weather, so I wouldn't throw this out to bag. But for this event right now, I would actually call this model a little bit of an outlier. But if you really look at the thermal thickness, if you look at the thickness here of the the thermodynamics here, and kind of look at the CAPE values. Again, this is very slow at loading. I apologize, guys. Apparently, it just doesn't want to load very quickly today, so. Okay, there it goes. You can see the instability late tomorrow afternoon really setting up here in this model across northern Iowa here, getting into northwestern Illinois and southwestern Wisconsin. And again, like I've said many times, the MCS, usually these complexes during the middle and late summer here like to kind of ride right along the outer edge here of that instability gradient. And if you kind of extrapolate this farther southeast, you can see this actually moves down towards northern Illinois, and that's why that model does have that moving into those areas. Now, with that said, there is still some support, a lot of support for this to move well to the north. So there's still variability, but again, I wouldn't be surprised if it takes a southeastward jog as we head through the day tomorrow. So we'll definitely have to watch that again. Nevertheless, it looks like it'll weaken toward the Chicagoland area into northwestern Indiana. So as it moves into Indiana, if this does verify tomorrow, we're probably more than likely going to see a lot less in the way of damaging winds as it crosses towards Indianapolis, South Bend, Gary, and the portions there of Fort Wayne. If this model verifies, maybe some more heavy rain into portions of Milwaukee here as we move through this time frame as well. Another thing I did want to note is that this model actually does speed it up very quickly. It's already approaching Dubuque, Iowa, Madison already by 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. So again, this model might be a little too fast with this as well, is another concern. So we'll definitely have to wait and see what does kind of happen with this. It'd be interesting to see what the 0Z run does show, because it actually is only 13% loaded, so I'm not sure how much I'll be able to see of this. I can only go to tonight's, and let's see how different it is here a little bit. Yeah. So we'll just have to wait and see. We'll just really have to wait and see. Again, the 0Z just coming out. Maybe toward the end of the live stream here, we'll kind of come back to this and see what the new run shows. Again, the operational models really aren't, we'll look at the operational models, but again, a lot of times we like, for MCS clusters, we really like to look at the more of the mesoscale models to kind of get a bearings on what we like to see kind of closer in towards the surface, because a lot of times the global models are too elevated for the to look really down towards the mesoscale details. But again, here's the GFS. This is the 18Z. The 0Z should be out here in a couple hours. But again, the GFS really strongly shows a strong squall line across much of Wisconsin and Iowa, and kind of favors a little more of what I was talking about. The GFS has been there as well. Again, note it is an 18Z run, so we'll definitely have to watch that, but the GFS still kind of favors what I've been talking about. It likes to kind of move along the instability gradient, and if that does happen, it might drop into northern Illinois. So even if you are outside of that enhanced or slight risk zone, if you're in northern Illinois right now, northwestern Indiana, eastern Iowa, and you're saying, wow, I'm only under a level 1 of 5, why am I only under a marginal risk if all these models are showing that? Because there's a lot more support to the north across Wisconsin and Minnesota. And I really do think the Storm Prediction Center is going to be hard at work, potentially kind of, maybe shifting another couple counties to the south potentially tonight at the worst case scenario, probably that enhanced risk. And I guess even worst case scenario, this could be upgraded to a moderate risk here even overnight tonight. So we'll definitely have to watch and see what we can expect from these storms as we move here through time tomorrow. Let's kind of look at the Canadian model and see what that shows. Again, this is the 12Z run from earlier on today. We'll kind of look at this. Let's kind of zoom down in towards northern Illinois here. And again, this is northern Illinois. Kind of looking for tomorrow afternoon. And again, the Canadian model is actually a lot farther to the north as well, so that's kind of interesting. And so far, actually, the European model is that way. But you can see the 12Z European model, which is a very reliable model, I want to note as well for global models, actually tries to shift kind of the squall line a little farther southward as well here into northern Illinois and eastern Iowa. So there's been a trend even in the European model for that as well. So we'll just have to wait. Tomorrow morning will really give us a clear picture on what we can expect here. Again, if you wake up tomorrow morning looking at the models, there still might be some differences, but I think there should be a clearer picture of what we can expect. Again, going back to the HRRR, really showing this here. This is okay. Let's go back to the 0Z, the 01Zs, the 1Z one's coming out right now, so we'll definitely kind of look at that. Again, you can see that really starting to propagate more across these areas, and let me put it for the whole Midwest, and you can see it kind of turning more southeast here, kind of because we have what we call a cold pool. Like a lot of times we have cold pool, like mechanics, cold pool augmentations along the leading edge, and what I mean by cold pool is that these storms, when they kind of develop into kind of a big cluster of storms, they like to be driven by outflow boundaries. And usually the outflow boundaries like to travel towards more instability because warmer air is, more unstable. So you're going to have a lot more lift when you have cooler air coming in here over top of that surface, temperatures in the 90s. So you're going to have a lot more lift. And that's why we're seeing that potentially shifting southeast here as well across those areas. Guys, if you guys have any questions here in the chat, definitely, if you guys, the live chat is open to anyone and everyone, so definitely, ask your questions, dot down your comments and concerns. I can answer everybody's questions, comments, concerns as well. Again, if you guys are in the live stream, definitely wouldn't hurt if you guys could press the like button as well as subscribe to the YouTube channel, guys. Definitely much appreciated out there. You guys rock. Again, you guys are awesome here in the live stream the other day. Definitely much appreciated. Thank you to all of the subscribers the other day as well as all of the likes here. You guys rock. You really do. So thank you. You guys are already up to 18 likes down below. Definitely much appreciated, guys. Again, you guys rock. But let's kind of get back to the live radar again. If you guys have any questions about tomorrow, I definitely can answer that because we do have a tornado warning here in northwestern Kansas. We really got to get to, guys. We'll go back to Saturday here once some of those models start to load back in for you guys here. And we'll go over to pivotal weather as well because there are more models that we can look at. But again, I'm not sure if those 0Z runs are out quite yet. But right around Hill City here in northwestern Kansas, we're seeing a tornado warning. This is radar indicated, so we're not seeing any confirmation of weather spotters or radar confirmed or anything like that. This is just radar indicated rotation, a tornado and quarter-size hail. So the potential for a tornado, a potential for a tornado and quarter-size hail, that 1-inch hail out there. This is moving very slowly southward at 10 miles per hour. This is located 5 miles north of Hill City. Again, Hill City here around 9:20. So if you live in Hill City, Kansas, around 9:20 Central Daylight Time here, in the next 15 minutes or thereabout, yeah, you can definitely, the next 15 to 17 minutes, definitely expect the potential for a tornadic thunderstorm that could be, capable of producing a tornado and maybe even that quarter size, that 1-inch hail potential as well. So definitely stay tuned for that if you live in Hill City. I'll continue to update you on this. This is in central Graham County in northwestern Kansas. And again, we do even outside of the tornado warning polygon here, we do have severe thunderstorm warnings as well. And this is a very significant, this is a destructive severe thunderstorm tag, actually, guys. This is for central Graham County. 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. And this is actually what we could be seeing tomorrow, guys. And this is in northwestern Kansas. We could be seeing more widespread winds like this tomorrow. So again, this is just the start of it, guys. Drew says, I have a question for Nebraska, eastern Nebraska, northeastern Nebraska area about, do you believe there will be a tornado threat added to the area or not? Nebraska, you guys are not going to see severe weather tomorrow. If you do, it'll be isolated. I think the main severe weather show will be across the western Great Lakes, across Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa, and potentially northern Illinois and northwestern Indiana. So I think if you live in eastern portions there in Nebraska, maybe an isolated strong storm later in the day. If you live in central Nebraska, probably little to nil pretty much across those areas. Probably not talking about anything too significant if you live in central Nebraska, because you're going to be too close to that ridge axis there. Too much of that damaging wind threat will be more to the north and east of that ridge axis there. An 82 mile per hour at 8:49 p.m. Central Daylight Time. This was just a handful of minutes ago, guys. An 82 mile per hour wind gust was reported at the Hill City Municipal Airport, guys. So that is some extremely damaging winds that could uproot trees, uproot power poles, power lines, as well as knock out power to many people, guys. An 82 mile per hour wind gust is nothing to laugh at. That is some very damaging winds. Again, Hill City here around 9:15 with those straight line winds over 80 miles per hour potentially. So you guys have about 10 minutes before those damaging winds are on your doorstep there in Hill City. Bogue around 9:40, so you got some time there, but definitely this storm's moving slowly, which means the wind threat could be a little more significant as this moves through. Again, 80 mile per hour wind gusts and 1-inch quarter-size hail for central Graham County, including Hill City, and this warning goes in effect until 9:45 p.m. Central Daylight Time for central Graham County, so we'll continue to watch this. Farther to the south, we have the 60 mile per hour wind gust threat on the southern end of this kind of squall line starting to develop across northwestern Kansas. 60 mile per hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail here. Storm is located 6 miles north of Quinter, Kansas. Moving southeast at 20 miles an hour. Again, Quinter area here in the next 4 minutes. So if you live in Quinter, Kansas, around 9:10 p.m. Central Daylight Time, these storms will be near you, as well as St. Peter, Kansas, and the Interstate 70 corridor in Kansas between mile markers 103 and 113. So definitely heed the warning, guys. This is a very dangerous kind of complex of storms trying to develop across northwestern Kansas right now that we definitely have to watch out for. Guys, if you guys have not pressed the subscribe button, definitely press the subscribe button down below. All you got to do is press it one time, and that's all you got to do, guys, to help me out. Definitely much appreciated. I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers because once I get to 500 subscribers, guys, I can actually do a community chat on YouTube, which will actually alert you guys when I can do live streams. So that will be pretty cool. If you guys can help me get to 500, you guys will really help me get closer to that goal, which would be very much appreciated. As we get here a little farther to the southwest, south of I-70 into western Kansas, again, 60 mile an hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail, so that 1-inch hail there. Severe storm was located 9 miles northeast of Scott State Lake, moving southeast at 20 miles an hour. This warning goes in effect for northeastern Scott County and northern Lane County in west central Kansas here until 10 p.m. Central Daylight Time. These areas are very, kind of rural mostly, so not really moving over a lot of cities or population, but definitely some of these areas, there could be some countrysides out here with some, barns, some houses out in the, in these areas. So we'll definitely have to watch that. Again, south of I-70. So we'll continue to monitor that as we get a little closer. Northwest of Garden City, Kansas. We got warning here. This has actually been, it looks like, okay, well, apparently the storm northwest of Garden City has been prompted to be canceled. So that is some good news. Let me see if we're having any, special weather statement out, and we're not. They have completely removed that. It looks like that storm northwest of Garden City, north of the Highway 50 corridor in western Kansas, has actually been allowed to be canceled because it's actually really quickly weakening across these areas. So that is some good news. Thank you guys for the 2 new subscribers out there. We're up to 321. Thank you guys for subscribing. Definitely means a lot. Again, you guys are a big step in the way to getting closer to 500 subscribers. Again, if you guys in the live stream, if you guys have not pressed the like button or the subscribe button, please do, guys, because once we get to 500 subscribers, again, the YouTube will let me do a community chat on my YouTube channel, which will kind of alert you guys for when I do live streams in the future, which will be pretty cool. Besides just putting it out on Twitter. So thank you guys for subscribing. Again, if more of you want to subscribe to the YouTube channel, definitely would really help out. Definitely much appreciated, guys. Thank you guys for joining this Friday evening. Hopefully everybody's having a good start to their weekend. Again, stay safe out there. We got 60 mile per hour wind gusts, nickel-size hail here. Again, this is a line extending from near Webster State Park to 7 miles south of Hill City, moving southeast to 20 miles an hour. Southwestern Rooks County in north central Kansas. Again, this is until 9:45 p.m. Central Daylight Time across this area. DeMar and Webster State Park here right now. So if you live in those areas, definitely heed the warning. And also Zurich, Plainville, and Codell, Kansas are in the path of these storms as well. This is moving southeast to 20 miles an hour. Again, 60 mile an hour wind gusts and that pocket change nickel-size hail along that. Again, we still have the destructive tag here. You kind of see the storm. If I take the warnings off here real quick, you can see it kind of trying to bow out just to the west there of Hill City. And that's a lot of that surge of wind right to the north of I-70 here in northwest Kansas that we're watching. And that's where we have the destructive tag for severe thunderstorm warning here, and also that tornado warning. We got the 80 mile per hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail here, and 82 mile per hour wind gusts. 82 miles per hour, guys, was reported at the Hill City Municipal Airport around 8:49 p.m. So just about, almost a half an hour ago or so, about 20 minutes ago. Again, this is moving into the Hill City area around 9:15 Central Daylight Time, and Bogue around 9:40. So about the next half an hour, if you live in Bogue, Kansas, yeah, Central Graham County, you could be expecting some very significant, very destructive, damaging winds in these areas. That is for sure. Dixon, thank you guys. I think I've seen Dixon before. Thank you for joining the live stream. Definitely much appreciated. Again, thank you guys for the 2 more subscribers out there. We're up to 323. Again, if you guys have not subscribed, all you got to do is press the subscribe button once. You guys are a big, big step in helping me to get to 500, guys. You guys rock. Dixon says, what's up with New Mexico? It's cloudy for sure. Let me zoom out here for you real quick for New Mexico, since we have a question for that. Depending on where you live, where do you live in New Mexico? Do you live in the Santa Fe area, Albuquerque, Roswell, or Gallup area? There's just a lot of rainfall activity in much of north, scattered about in New Mexico, and that's probably more likely why we're seeing a lot of that cloud cover. We do actually have a couple warnings since we're down here. We'll get to these in southwestern portions of New Mexico, north of Deming, north of I-10 here, and southwestern New Mexico. We got a severe thunderstorm capable of producing 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and penny-sized hail. Again, this was 12 miles southwest of Nutt, New Mexico, so southwest of Nutt, New Mexico, moving west at 10 miles per hour. So all these storms are moving west in these areas at 10 miles per hour. Again, the Cooks Peak area could be seeing that 60-mile-per-hour wind, so a good rush of wind from these storms. And then we got another warning in extreme southeastern portions there of Arizona, right along I-10 here in southeastern Arizona. Again, this is moving south at 20 miles per hour, so it should largely stay in southeastern Arizona there, right along the Arizona-New Mexico border, near the San Simon area. Again, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail with this storm moving south at 20 miles an hour, and this warning goes in effect until 7:15 p.m. Mountain Standard Time here for northeastern Cochise County here in southeastern Arizona. Dixon says Teos, close to Santa Fe. Or is it Toes? I think you've said this before, and I've had trouble. Unfortunately, I had trouble pronouncing it. So I'm sorry about pronouncing your town wrong. I don't mean to. It's just some of these town names. I live in the Midwest, and a lot of the Midwest towns, I don't know if it's just because I've lived here for so long and it's just straightforward, or it's just because I just don't go around towards these. I haven't been really much of west of the the Mississippi River much for vacation or anything, so very hard to pronounce a lot of these names, so I apologize. That's around the Santa Fe area. Yeah, you got some showers northeast of Santa Fe, near the Las Vegas area in New Mexico, and just west of I-25 there. You got some scattered showers near Gallup and down towards Albuquerque. That's probably why you're seeing a lot of those clouds down there right now. That's my my guess. You got a couple of thunderstorms near Fort Sumner, and west of Clovis here in the eastern portions of New Mexico. Again, just south of I-40 there. That's probably why we're seeing some cloud cover. Grace Goodrich says, so I am good for Longville, no tornado threat. You're talking about tonight? No, there's not a tornado threat for you tonight. Tomorrow, that's a different story. If you live in the Longville area tomorrow, you're in at least that 2% area of tornadoes potentially tomorrow. Again, the Storm Prediction Center will be adjusting that a little bit more as we get a little bit closer to the day tomorrow. So we'll definitely be watching out for that. Again, the Storm Prediction Center comes out with the new outlook at 1 a.m. Tomorrow morning for day 1, which will include that severe weather outbreak for Saturday as well. Looking up here into northern North Dakota, we got a few counties here in that pink area, as well as southwestern Manitoba, southeastern Saskatchewan. This is for in the pink shaded areas here. This is a severe thunderstorm watch, which means conditions are favorable for the development of severe weather, including damaging winds, large hail, and potentially we do have that 2% chance of tornadoes here through the rest of this evening across northern North Dakota here. We got a big polygon here for a severe thunderstorm warning. This is for 2-inch. This is pretty significant, guys. 2-inch hail. So we got 2-inch hail larger than golf balls, and also 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So we got hen egg size hail here, and also 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So we could have some hen eggs type of hailstones kind of blowing sideways with all this damaging wind potential out here. So that's what we're going to be watching for as we move through the next several minutes. Again, this warning does impact areas here around Antler here around 8:55. That's already moved through there and moving through the West Hope and Maxbus area here right now. Again, areas of Glenburn, Newburgh, Deering, Souris, as well as Lake Lake Metagoshi here, State Park. All these areas are impacted by this dangerous severe thunderstorm. Again, hen egg size hail. That's that 2-inch hail out there, and also 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts here. This is moving east at 35 miles an hour until 9:45 p.m. Central Daylight Time. So that's kind of what we're watching across this area. We actually do have just a brand new warning. This is a tornado warning, guys, just to the northeast of Minot, North Dakota. This is radar indicated, so there's no signs of any, tornado on the ground at this point, but we actually are seeing a tornado warning in the portions near northeast of Minot, North Dakota. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Deering, North Dakota, or 14 miles northeast of Minot. So if you are about 14, 15 miles northeast of Minot, North Dakota, this storm's moving southeast at 35 miles per hour, capable of producing a tornado. This will be near Deering, North Dakota in 9:20, so in 5 minutes. Definitely take your cover now if you live in Deering, North Dakota, and also the Granville area here in North Dakota as well, as we do have a tornadic thunderstorm pushing through your area right now as we speak. So that'll be something we'll watch here over the next few minutes. Again, we'll keep our eyes, peeled for all of this severe weather out here for you guys to keep you guys safe here this evening. And this is that same area that's in that slight risk here this evening as well. Going back to the Storm Prediction Center's outlook here for today, you got that slight risk across northern North Dakota as well as northwestern Kansas, and that's currently where we're seeing these tornadic storms from time to time across these areas here as we move through the evening hours. And even a marginal risk extending here towards the Omaha area, Lincoln, Nebraska, getting through Des Moines, much of Iowa there, north central Illinois from, I-74 on north here from Peoria, Illinois, towards Chicago, Rockford, Illinois, getting up towards Madison, Wisconsin, Janesville, Wisconsin there, Racine, Milwaukee, South Bend, Gary, Indiana, all these areas as we head towards the northwestern Indiana there, and just right along the Fort Wayne area and westward as well. We also have a marginal risk to the north and northwestern portions there of Minnesota. That's where we can expect that kind of propagation of this MCS as it continues to propagate east-southeastward across those areas here through the next few hours and the overnight hours. Grand Forks getting down towards Fargo. So Grand Forks and Fargo and also towards Bismarck there do want to be on the lookout for potentially some severe weather, at least isolated to scattered severe weather as we head through the next few hours across these areas. Again, we got a tornado warning northeast of Minot, North Dakota. This is right now radar indicated. There's no threat of a tornado, at least right now, on the ground, but there is a chance for a tornado to be on the ground. So that's why there's a tornado warning. And near the Deering area, if you live in Deering, North Dakota, around 9:20 p.m. Central Daylight Time, you definitely want to take your cover here right now, as this is about minutes away from moving through your area, as well as the Granville area here as well. Right now, take your cover in North Dakota. So Granville, North Carolina, Granville, North Dakota, and Deering, North Dakota. Take your cover right now if you guys are hearing me on the live stream, because you guys have some dangerous weather heading your way. And if you aren't under that tornado warning, you're under that threat for golf ball size hail and 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts. This warning just got updated. Was producing that hen egg size hail potential, has kind of come down a little bit, but still producing very close to that 2-inch hail potential right now across these areas. Again, golf ball size hail and 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So we could have some golf balls kind of size hail moving sideways with the 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts here across these areas. So that could definitely do some damage to your siding, your roof, your trees out there, as well as your windows. So definitely do not want to be next to windows. Trained weather spotters in this area actually reported wind gusts up to 65 miles per hour and 1-inch quarter-size hail already. So that's what kind of we're watching. Again, Newburgh, Deering, Souris, as well as Lake Metagoshi here, State Park, in the northern portions, far northern portions there of North Dakota. That's kind of what we're looking at. Again, the severe thunderstorm watch in this area goes in effect until 1 a.m. Central Daylight Time Sunday morning. So the next several hours across these areas. We'll definitely be keeping an eye on that tornado warning. Again, it's radar indicated near Minot and just north and east of Minot. About 15 miles northeast of Minot is kind of where the apex here kind of this tornado warning is. So we'll definitely have to watch that. Yeah, you're welcome, Dixon. Definitely much appreciated. Grace also said, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a couple tornado watches tomorrow. Yeah, I agree with you. There definitely could be some tornado watches tomorrow. So again, the severe weather outbreak tomorrow, we definitely have to watch it. Wilson Dog, hello. How are you doing this evening? Definitely much appreciated. Thank you for joining the live stream. Yeah, definitely take shelter now. Wilson Dog says, tomorrow looking nasty. Yeah, we went over that earlier. I'm not sure if you're in the live stream or not, but we'll go back over it again as I'm kind of waiting for some of the weather models to kind of load up here because the weather models are kind of just undergoing the 0Z run right now. So we'll just kind of wait and see the next few minutes to see if we see what they show, because the 0Z runs are pretty accurate, so we'll definitely go look at that here as well. Not only are we seeing significant severe weather in northern North Dakota, we got 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts here onto portions of northwestern Kansas. Again, 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts and 1-inch hail in central Graham County. This is 4 miles west of Hill City earlier. This might be moving through the Hill City as we speak. Again, at 8:49 p.m. Central Daylight Time, there actually was an 82-mile-per-hour wind gust reported at the Hill City Municipal Airport. Again, we're watching for this moving through Hill City now. If you live in Bogue, Kansas, around 9:40 p.m. Central Daylight Time, in the Penokee area as well in Kansas. This will be moving through your area rather shortly, so definitely want to take cover. Again, treat this like a tornado warning. Go to the lowest level of your home, because 80-mile-per-hour winds can do so much damage, guys, and they could come up on you very quickly here, with the winds going from near calm to 70 to 80 miles an hour very quickly within a matter of seconds to minutes. So definitely want to take this seriously. Again, this is a destructive severe thunderstorm tag for central Graham County in northwestern portions of Kansas. And again, all of this is mainly in northwestern Kansas. This is well to the north of the Dodge City and Garden City area, well northwest of Wichita and Emporia, and well west of Topeka and Kansas City. So again, a lot of these open areas in Kansas are seeing this now, but we'll continue to watch it over the next few hours. Again, we still got a warning southwest towards the Garden City area. This is mainly just for standard severe thunderstorm warning criteria, just 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and that 1-inch size hail out there as well, with that quarter size hail we're watching as well. This is moving southeast at 20 miles an hour. Expect damage to roofs, siding, trees, and power line damage potentially from this. Against 60 miles an hour winds, could still do some damage out there as well. Guys, if you guys are just tuning in the live stream, definitely would be appreciated if you guys could press that like button down below. All you got to do is press that once, and also while you're doing that, also press the subscribe button down below as well. Again, the YouTube lets me once I hit 500 subscribers. Once I hit 500 subscribers on YouTube, it helps me actually do what's called a community chat on YouTube, and definitely could do more talking to you guys on YouTube about upcoming weather events, and when I'm going to go live next and all that type of stuff. So if you guys could help me get towards 500 subscribers, that would definitely be a big step in the direction of trying to get that closer to helping you guys out as well. So definitely press that subscribe button, definitely much appreciated, as well as that like button down below. Again, thank you guys for joining me here this Friday evening. It's very active. It's been very active here. We had a lot of activity yesterday, and it's really starting to heat up already. Kind of waiting toward that peak heating time frame, with that low-level jet really starting to kick up now. Yeah, we're really starting to see a lot of these storms start to percolate here in the last few hours. We still got the tornado warning. Like I said, this is radar indicated here. Just a tornado tag on this here right now. This is radar indicated. Yet, like I said. This is moving southeast at 35 miles per hour, north and east of the Minot area. So we'll continue to keep an eye on that as we move forward. Again, we're starting to see some scattered showers, and maybe let's put the lightning on here. We're seeing a couple lightnings, kind of showing up just east of Waukegan. Starting to see some lightning showing up. Again, we're still watching these storms that are kind of percolate. We got another little smaller cell of thunderstorm activity north and east of Stanley, Wisconsin, between Eau Claire and Wausau here, into northwestern Wisconsin right now. So we'll see some scattered showers and storms through the nighttime, just a lot of daytime heating out there, and we'll watch that as well. As I kind of take off the severe alerts, let me actually show you this. Look at all the heat out there, guys. All this orange, that is a heat advisory for the entire state of Missouri, including the Ozarks, St. Louis, Nashville here in the Music City, getting back toward Memphis here, Little Rock, Oklahoma City. The Tulsa area is actually under an excessive heat watch. Topeka, Wichita, Omaha, Des Moines, all the way up towards Sioux Falls. This is for tomorrow, guys. This is a lot of heat out there, so that's what we're watching. Again, all this orange shading area is actually a heat advisory, so that is what we're watching as well, on top of all that severe weather. So yeah, with all that daytime heating out there, there's no surprise. Some of these storms are pretty damaging here across northwestern, Kansas, even across these areas for sure. Blessed said your sound is either really loud or hard to hear. It's going up and down. Hitting your like button. Thank you for hitting the like button. I'll definitely try to fix my audio. Thank you for letting me know. Wilson Dog says, what states are going to get severe weather tomorrow? Mainly Wisconsin, Minnesota, maybe northern Illinois, getting into parts of Iowa, eastern Nebraska, as well as maybe Michigan here and northwestern Indiana. So a lot of states tomorrow, kind of a multi-state severe weather outbreak potential. Let me try and fix my audio, guys, real quick. Let me try and fix it for you guys. Let me know how that works, guys. Is that a lot better? Let me know. I did have a comment in the chat that did say my audio was kind of going in and out, so definitely let me know. Just say yes if you guys are in the live stream. The live chat is open to everybody. If you guys can hear me very clearly and I'm not going in and out anymore, just say yes down in the live chat. Would be very much appreciated. Just let me know down below. Again, guys, if you guys are just joining the live stream or have been here, definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel as well as like it below. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys for joining the live stream this Friday evening. Again, just going over severe weather coverage as well as looking ahead to tomorrow here. We'll do so in just one more minute here. I'm kind of waiting for a little bit longer for some of this model data to come in, but we're just now starting to get some more model data in, so I'm just waiting a couple more minutes, and then we'll be going over that as we, momentarily here. I'm good now. I thought you were saying I'm a goof. I mean, I guess I can be a goof too sometimes, I guess. Okay, yeah, I'm good now. All right, appreciate it. I just don't want to feel like I'm yelling across the screen to you guys. If I sound like I'm too loud, let me know as well, and I will kind of talk a little quieter so I don't, yell across the screen and blow up your guys' eardrums on the other side and bleed your ears out. We don't want that to happen. We got kind of a thunderstorm cell. It's not severe warm, but north of Kearney, Nebraska here. Let's see here. We actually do have a special weather statement on that one, northwest of Kearney. This is for winds that could be in excess of 30 miles an hour and penny-size hail. So we got some smaller hail here. We also have the potential of, winds over 30 miles an hour. So we'll be watching that here as we move a little bit farther through the evening hours. Again, this is moving southeast at 15 miles an hour. The strong thunderstorm was on radar here, located near Miller. So near Miller, Nebraska, or 23 miles or so, 25 miles northwest of Kearney, Nebraska, moving southeast at 15 miles per hour. So this is actually starting to approach the I-80 corridor here near the Kearney area with time, very slowly across portions of Nebraska. So we'll watch this again. Not severe warned, but there is a special weather statement out for winds over 30 miles an hour and also that penny-size hail potential there as well. So that's what we'll be watching here over the next few minutes as well to see if because this could strengthen to severe criteria, so we'll definitely have to watch it. Let me take that off here. Again, we still have that tornado warning north and east of the Minot area. Kind of a kink in that line. Tornado and quarter-size hail. This is moving southeast at 35 miles per hour. This tornado-producing storm is actually located over Deering. So if you live in Deering, like I said, you wanted to take cover earlier, this is over your area right now in North Dakota, and this is moving southeast at 35 miles per hour. So Granville, if you live there as well, take cover immediately if you haven't already. Again, radar indicated, so there's no confirmation via radar or weather spotters of a tornado on the ground, but definitely have to watch this as we move a little bit farther along here. Still a tornado warning. Blessed All says hello from Iowa. Well, hello from Northern Illinois. I live fairly close to you. I live in just a state, kind of your neighboring state. Yeah, I live in Northern Illinois, and we might be in line for severe weather, and you might even be in line for severe weather as well, depending on where you live in Iowa tomorrow. So if you live in southern Iowa or southwestern Iowa, it'll be a lot harder to get severe weather tomorrow. If you live in northern Iowa or eastern Iowa or even northeastern Iowa tomorrow, the chances will go up dramatically for severe weather for the afternoon, especially tomorrow evening. So we'll be keeping an eye on that and all of the weather model trends out there for you. Again, if you guys are in the live stream, definitely press the like button down below and subscribe. Much appreciated. Again, if you guys want to really help me out, guys, we need 500 subscribers so I can kind of open up that the YouTube community chat. So YouTube doesn't allow me to do a community chat until I have 500 subscribers, guys. So if you guys want me to kind of chat with you about upcoming weather events as we get closer to the fall and the winter, and also kind of chat with you guys about other things here as well as future live streams and future weather updates, definitely hit that subscribe button. That's really a big step in the way of getting to that community chat, guys, on YouTube. Again, very much appreciated if you guys could help me out in hitting that live stream or that live hitting that subscribe button. That's what I'm trying to get at, guys. It's already 9:30. I'm losing my mind, so appreciate it. I'm trying to give you the most accurate information. Again, we still got severe thunderstorm warnings in southwestern Manitoba right now, well west of Winnipeg. We're watching as well. We got severe storm, for lightning here as well as some damaging winds. This is moving east at 30 kilometers per hour. Again, it says very strong wind gusts, nickel to ping pong ball size hail and heavy rain into southwestern Manitoba as well. Again, I cover southern and southeastern Canada as well, not just the U.S. I'm trying to kind of broaden my horizons a little bit more and trying to, cover portions there of, Kansas a lot more. So that's kind of what we're looking at. You live Blessed says, I live in northeast Iowa. You live in northeast Iowa. So, yeah, I would be on the lookout for severe weather. Again, I will keep you covered tomorrow. And, Blessed, if you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, definitely subscribe because I will actually be posting a video on the YouTube channel tomorrow concerning the severe weather threat. I'll be posting that early in the morning, probably around 8, 9 o'clock. So, definitely 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock here Central Daylight Time. Be looking out here on the YouTube channel. And that goes for everybody else as well. As I'll have a video update for you guys concerning the severe weather potential tomorrow morning. And also don't forget to, like the video as well. That also helps it get out to more people on YouTube as well, guys. Again, all these likes you guys do, definitely much appreciated. And all the new subscribers out there today, very much appreciated as well. Yeah, we got lots. I'm kind of going over some of the model data right now on my phone here, and it's pretty interesting. Some of the new data coming in. I'll pass that along to you right now. You did subscribe. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Blessed. Definitely much appreciated. Again, you are a big help getting me closer to that 500 mark, as well as everybody else subscribing today and before. Thank you guys very much. Everybody that has always subscribed to the YouTube channel. Definitely spread the word out there, guys. Definitely much appreciated. We got an extension of a severe thunderstorm warning down near the Hayes, Kansas area here, just to the north side there of Hayes, Kansas, right along I-70 here. And this is for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. This is for that 1-inch hail and potentially 60 to 65-mile-per-hour winds here. Severe storm located 9 miles southwest of Pauco, Kansas, or 13 miles north of Ogalla, Kansas, moving southeast to 20 miles an hour. Again, roof damage, siding damage, tree damage, and power line damage is definitely possible with this storm. Again, winds in excess of 60 miles an hour and quarter-size hail. That 1-inch hail here right at severe criteria is what we're looking for here in those areas near the Hayes, Kansas area, approaching I-70 in Kansas. So that's what we're going to be watching for here, guys. You guys see this disturbance well up here to the northwest into southern Alberta. That's our main player for tomorrow, guys. It's already showing up here across southern Alberta, and that is what the weather models here have tapped into. And we actually have warnings on it right now. South and east of Calgary, Alberta, we got some severe warnings on this right now as well. This is for strong wind gusts up to nickel-size hail and heavy rainfall near the Majorville and Jumping Buffalo Hill areas, moving southeast here across southern Alberta. So some torrential rain, some flooding there, some thunderstorm warnings for southern Alberta there from the Canadian Weather Service. So that is what they are showing right now up in those areas. That's the disturbance that'll be moving through for tomorrow. Again, the tornado risk does persist north and east of Minot, and let's kind of take these warnings off to show you where the tornado could be. You see that inflow notch, guys, just east of Deering toward the Granville area, approaching Highway 2, just east of Minot. So if you're coming out of Minot to the east, we're starting to see a very strong inflow notch here with kind of a little bit of some kind of a hook echo starting to develop just east of Deering. So we'll watch this again. A few frames ago, we really started to see this notch really increase in intensity, kind of a supercell here. And this will be approaching Highway 2, so definitely continue to watch this between Minot and Rugby across the Highway 2. This is going to be crossing Highway 2 momentarily if it has not been already. So if you are driving west to east across the Rugby area towards Minot or Minot to Rugby in northern portions of North Dakota, again, this is for a tornadic storm, and we could be seeing a tornado here anytime with this storm as we're seeing a strong kind of inflow notch with this thunderstorm here, with a lot of inflow here. We got the tightening kind of couplet potentially with this as it kind of all that inflow continues to move to the toward the radar and away from the radar, away from the radar there with kind of that, tightening up of that hook echo there on the radar. Northwest and severe weather threat. Are you talking about Nebraska? Northwestern Nebraska is not in a severe weather threat today, and it is not in a severe weather threat tomorrow. Just a general garden variety thunderstorm threat tomorrow in Nebraska, and even on Sunday, the severe weather threat's going to be along the southern Great Lakes again, from Kansas City to Chicago to Indianapolis, Toledo, Columbus, Detroit, getting in towards Buffalo there, Syracuse, and getting up just towards the Pittsburgh area. on Sunday with a marginal, kind of a broad brushed marginal risk right now from the Storm Prediction Center. Again, this will be updated again. Sunday's update could be, including maybe a slight risk as it gets a little bit closer there as well. Right now, the Storm Prediction Center just kind of broad brushing that with the marginal risk across the southern Great Lakes and middle Missouri Valley for Sunday right now. Again, here's your outlook for tomorrow. If you guys want to check that out, just kind of pinpoint your general location here on the map, and you can find out here where you can live. And that, again, they did extend that farther to the south and enhance risk towards southern Wisconsin again as well. Wilson Dog says, hey, weather on the go. If you would like to see the storm chasers, there is an app called Live Storm Chasers. You can chat with storm chasers as well. Okay, well, that's cool. Thank you for pointing that out. I'll definitely be able to maybe do that here in the future. Probably not tonight, but definitely maybe tomorrow we can try and do that. Because I'm sure there will be some storm chasers with the tornado threat, especially in kind of a windbag producer with an MCS across portions of Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Iowa tomorrow, maybe dropping into northern Illinois and northwestern Indiana, so we'll definitely watch that. I'm sure there'll be some storm chasers out there tomorrow. Again, thank you guys for the new subscribers. We're up to 325, guys. 326 now. Thank you guys for subscribing. You guys are awesome. Again, everybody out there, if you guys are unsubscribed, if you guys are not subscribed to the YouTube channel, definitely press that subscribe button. You guys are awesome. You guys are really trying to help me get to 500. I definitely appreciate that. We're almost there. All we need is that community chat, guys, so I can chat with you guys on the YouTube for updated weather information here, but without just putting it on Twitter. I can put it out on YouTube so you guys can see that as well. So that's another reason why you guys should subscribe as well and like the video for more and more weather information out there. Very much appreciated, guys. 327. Again, thank you all. Thank you all to the new subscribers. Again, I could not do it without you. You guys are awesome. Appreciate it, and hope everybody's having a great start to their weekend out there. I know it's Friday evening, a lot of plans out there probably. Just stay safe tonight. Again, some severe weather sporadic across the U.S., especially in northern portions of North Dakota and northwestern Kansas. Really, that's where the most significant severe weather is as of right now, so we'll continue to watch that. And if anybody out there wondering, yeah, I will be live tomorrow as well. I'll be covering the height of that severe weather outbreak tomorrow. So definitely, if you guys want to tune back in, definitely turn on all your notifications if they have not been turned on already. And I will be live tomorrow as well, probably starting late afternoon and going through much of the evening hours. So if you guys are wondering, yeah, I'll be live tomorrow probably. About 99.9% sure, if not 100% sure, I'll be live tomorrow. All right, so we still got the tornado warning, and we got some of the storms into portions there of Kansas. These might be weakening a little bit into Kansas. Probably still seeing that, 60 to 70 mile per hour wind gust threat, but we're probably not seeing the 80 mile per hour wind gust threat too much anymore. We'll kind of click on these warnings real quick to see. Yeah, mainly just 60 mile per hour winds. We still got the 80 mile per hour wind gust or 70 mile per hour wind gust tag still on there. At 8:59, so about a half an hour, 40 minutes ago, we actually did have a 76 mile per hour wind gust was reported at Hill City Municipal Airport, as well as the 82 mile per hour wind gust earlier. So we actually did have a couple reports of hurricane force wind gusts at the Hill City Municipal Airport in northwest Kansas here earlier on. So that is pretty significant. Got all that instability out there, that's for sure. Blessed says, well, you're welcome. Good luck getting your subscribers. Yeah, well, thank you very much. Definitely appreciate it. Thank you for subscribing. That goes for everybody. Thank you all for subscribing. You mean the world to me. Thank you very much. We got a lot more storms into northern portions of Wisconsin right now. Not severe storms, but a couple lightning returns between Eau Claire and Wausau here, northwest of Wausau and east of Eau Claire, near the Stanley area, Medford, Wisconsin. That's kind of what we're watching right now. Again, all you guys unsubscribed out there, definitely press that subscribe button. We're at 327. Let's see if we can get to 350 subscribers in this live stream, guys. If you guys can get me to 350 subscribers, that would be awesome. That would be sweet, guys. Let's see if we can make that goal reality here tonight. We got a lot of storms scattering across, a lot of lightning down here into the southern portions of South Carolina. This is around the Charleston area, and then just well south of Myrtle Beach. So from Charleston all the way down towards Savannah, Georgia, west of Savannah, Georgia there. Yeah, we got a lot of lightning here this evening as well. So even taking kind of a trip over here to the East Coast, yeah, we're seeing a lot of lightning out here right now. That is for sure. Wow. A lot of lightning, a lot of heavy rainfall. Got a storm right near the Montgomery area. I know this area got hit hard with a lot of wind reports yesterday from Birmingham, Tuscaloosa down toward Montgomery. Yeah, a lot of wind reports there. A lot of wind reports across the Northeast yesterday. We got a couple storms here in the Northeast. Northeast here of the Wilkes-Barre area here into northeastern Pennsylvania, and eastern portions there of New York State, north of Albany, New York there. A couple of storms as well. So that's kind of what we're watching. And again, northeast of Chicago, seeing a bunch of storms, just kind of moving across the United States, kind of giving your bearings on what we can expect out there and what we're seeing right now on the radar. Again, thank you for all the new subscribers. We're up to 328, guys. Guys, yeah, that'd be sweet. If we can get up to 350 subscribers in this live stream, guys, that would awesome. That would mean the world. That'd be a big step toward that 500 subscriber goal that I really need to get that community chat here on the YouTube. So definitely appreciate it. Again, if you guys want to make an all-nighter with me, I'll try to stay up here as late as I possibly can as with this ongoing severe weather here. Kind of talking about Saturday. Let's go back to the models here. Speaking of Saturday, the HRRR still loading that one, the 01Z here. So we'll continue to wait and watch for that to load in. But meanwhile, we'll be looking at some other models here before that gets loaded in for you guys to kind of show you what we can expect tomorrow. This is the newest wrap model. Again, this was the 0Z run. The 03 run, the 3Z run will be out here rather soon, later this evening for the wrap model. Again, another short-term weather model we look at for tomorrow, or just for the weather in general. But this is for tomorrow. Kind of moving through the afternoon here tomorrow. This model in particular has the complex farther to the north, which I kind of disagree on a little bit, just because there's a lot more of an instability gradient. I think this will be turning more southeast. Again, I have watched a lot of these, mesoscale convective systems over the past, years, and not always, but most times, these mesoscale convective systems actually try to turn more southeast into the better, energy, the better instability there. And I think sometimes the models actually underdo the dew points just a little bit. So that's what we're kind of seeing. Let's see what the dew point has on the models here. It's showing mid-70 dew points, so I'm not, actually this model, the reason why it has it farther north, I think, is because the warm front is farther north on this model run. It has it surging well into central Wisconsin, and that's kind of what we're seeing. Again, temperatures surging well up into the 90s here. I think this might be a little too extreme. Again, this is what I think right now. Again, the wrap model has us warming into the mid-90s here in northern Illinois, and with all that moisture in the environment, I find that hard to believe, because usually when you have a lot more moisture here with dew points higher, with that stronger, evapotranspiration with the corn crop, you got the evaporation from the ground, and then the transpiration here from the leaves of the corn into the atmosphere as well. That's what we combine those two, and that's what we call an evapotranspiration. The dew points trend a little bit higher than what models, weather models do think for that time. So we'll continue to watch it again. It'll be pretty tough to get to 100 degrees in eastern Iowa tomorrow. I have a feeling. I think this is surging the warm front a little too far north, but it's not impossible. If a model's showing it, definitely could be something we'll watch. So looking here at the NAM model. Okay, so this is the new run, guys. We were just looking at the 18Z NAM earlier. This is the newest run that we have not seen yet. This is the newest operational NAM right now. It just came out just momentarily, just a little while ago, for tomorrow. It actually does. The newest NAM, let's see, what did the 18Z show? The 18Z was actually a little farther north, but the 0Z, the new run, is actually trending it a little farther south as well. Again, that's still trending it for central and eastern Wisconsin down through Iowa, but the trends are there. As I always say, trends are your friend, guys. Trends are your friends, and that's definitely what we're seeing right now. Again, this is starting to try and trend its way southward, so again, this is kind of doing a good job. I think the NAM model is starting to come more in line with my thinking here as well. I think this MCS will try to turn more east-southeast, if not southeast, here into northern Illinois, southern Wisconsin, and eastern Iowa, and maybe approaching northwestern Indiana. That might be a stretch, but we'll definitely see what will happen. Again, northeastern Iowa, you guys will be in line for severe weather as well. Again, if you guys are just tuning into the live stream or been here and you have not subscribed or liked, definitely press the like button here. It's a thumbs up button down below. Press that one time, as well as press the subscribe button only one time, guys, and that definitely helps out here on my channel. Definitely much appreciated. Again, hope everybody's having a great Friday evening out there. Just trying to give you guys some more information about the severe weather potential tomorrow. It does have this complex actually moving through northern Illinois during the peak time frame of heating. Let's see what the instability is like here on the newest run. Yeah, we got some extremely high instability across portions there in northern Illinois. Again, the instability might start to wane a little bit across northern Illinois as this moves in, but still some moderate instability around 2,000 joules per kilogram will still be enough with the shear to produce some supercell composite values, pretty kind of hitting pretty hard, especially across southern Wisconsin. Again, I really think southern Wisconsin is kind of in the line for the kind of the most significant severe weather tomorrow. I really think areas from La Crosse, Wisconsin, south to Prairie du Chien, maybe Dubuque, Iowa. So if you live in Dubuque, Iowa, toward Elkader, Iowa, if you live those areas, Waterloo, if you live over towards Rockford, Illinois, Janesville, Monroe, Wisconsin, Madison, Milwaukee, Racine, Wisconsin, northeastern Illinois, McHenry, Illinois, getting up toward Waukegan, Chicago, those areas, Aurora, definitely be on the lookout here as we move through the day tomorrow for some severe weather as well. Let's look at the NAMNIS model, because this is another model that has really been trending lately. For some severe weather here, kind of with that line moving south. This is the 0Z run. I have not seen it yet. It does have the squall line trying to push farther south, but it does kind of weaken. The strongest part of the squall line actually looks like it'll hit southern Wisconsin. So that's kind of what we're seeing right now, at least on the NAMNIS model. Again, we'll continue to watch this as we get a little bit closer toward the day tomorrow. Again, I'll have another video update for you guys as we move towards the morning hours tomorrow. This is just the newest NAMNIS, and again, it kind of turns that complex a little farther to the southeast into northern Illinois, potentially as well. So that's what we're seeing with the newest run. The 1Z is out. How far does this go? All right, guys, again, here's the HRRR. Look at this. It's moving east. Here's the 1Z. This is the newest HRRR, guys. If you guys are still in the live stream, check this out. Moving to the east across south central Minnesota, and then look at, with my thinking, it turns southeast a little bit towards northern Iowa, northeastern Iowa. Again, Waterloo, Elkader, getting in towards Dubuque, Prairie du Chien, Wisconsin, Rochester, Minnesota. And then it looks like it might start to turn more southeast here towards northern Illinois. We'll definitely have to watch that as we move a little bit farther in towards the day tomorrow. Again, a lot more updates to come. Again, the Storm Prediction Center will have their new outlook out for tomorrow. Around 1 a.m. So that's kind of what we'll be looking at during that time as well. Let's go back to the radar here. It looks like they did cancel. So they did cancel that tornado warning, which is good, but we still, if I take the warnings off here, you can still see a little bit of an inflow notch here right along the Highway 2 corridor east of Granville, North Dakota right now. So that is something we're watching. Again, it looks like the storm overall is starting to weaken a little bit. But we're still watching this here over the next few minutes. Again, this could re-strengthen, so that's something we'll watch. But we do still have severe thunderstorm warnings here for these areas. Again, this is for damaging straight line winds. They actually did extend the warning to the very outer edge. Very large severe thunderstorm warning here. This is for golf ball size hail, guys. Golf ball size hail and 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts here within this line. Again, from the International Peace Garden to 5 miles southwest of the Denbigh area here to 6 miles northeast of Velva, North Dakota. Moving southeast here at 35 miles per hour. Again, golf ball size hail, so up near that 2-inch in diameter hailstone potential, around 1 3/4 inch diameter, as well as that 70-mile-per-hour wind gust. So that could uproot trees, knock some power out, as well as kind of lots of larger branches here. So we'll continue to watch that. Again near the International Peace Garden here at 9:50. So if you live there at the International Peace Garden around 9:50, about 2 more minutes, you guys will be in that here. Potential golf ball size hail and 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. St. John, Belcourt, Rolla, Drake, Anamoose, as well as Balta. You guys are impacted by this warning as well as we head here through the next few minutes. Guys, if you guys have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, please press the subscribe button down below. I'm talking so fast that I can't even get all the words out that I want to say sometimes. I apologize. Let's see here. We got a severe thunderstorm warning still for Hays, Kansas. 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, quarter-size hail, moving southeast here at 20 miles per hour. So we'll be watching that as well. Let's go over to pivotal weather here because I have not looked at the new model runs here. This is the 0Z, and this is showing. This is the HRW FB3. This is kind of a higher resolution model. This is kind of what we're seeing for tomorrow. That squall line moving through portions, like I was saying. I think the highest area of coverage for severe weather tomorrow looks to be southern Wisconsin, so maybe some slight adjusting to the Storm Prediction Center's outlook, but I think their outlook does look pretty reasonable right now for tomorrow. Again, maybe some severe weather getting down to Iowa there as well. And then as we get towards tomorrow evening, this could be potentially pushing into northern Illinois, but maybe weakening as it does so. But there'll still be a lot of instability there. You can see the Cape values here still in that 2,000 to 3,000 joules per kilogram range. You got all that shear still out there ahead of this, so we'll definitely have to watch that. Again, some of the shear coming in around 40 knots or thereabouts, so definitely have to watch that across even northern Illinois. Again, like I've been saying multiple times here within the live stream, we'll just continue to have to watch this. Again, I'll have a video update for you guys. All of you guys who have subscribed, if you guys are still in the live stream, do turn all your notifications on for the video update tomorrow. I'll have one again, usually around 8 to 10 o'clock in the morning. So 8, 9, or 10 o'clock in the morning tomorrow morning, probably earlier than not, I'll have a video. So let's see. Let's look at a different model here. Let's go back to the reflectivity. Go back to 0Z. And let's look at what the NSSL says here. Again, the NSSL shows the same theme. It's been showing kind of a little bit of a bow echo. Northeastern Iowa, southwestern Wisconsin, southeastern Minnesota, and then pushing that a little farther to the east here and southeast. This actually propagates it toward northern Illinois here. So there has been some support for this, guys, for this dropping southeast. And again, I've said this all along that this looks like it's going to be kind of pushing to the southeast. Blessed says, thank you for covering all this and answering the questions on the go. I will be checking back in the morning. Looks like severe weather wants to visit. Yeah, you're absolutely correct. Severe weather, you definitely, if you live in the northeastern Iowa, Elkader, over toward Waterloo, Cedar Rapids, Iowa City, back toward Dubuque, Prairie du Chien, Wisconsin, Rochester, Minnesota, all these areas, yeah, tomorrow definitely you're going to be watching for the threat of some numerous severe thunderstorms pushing through with potentially winds over 75 miles an hour, 2-inch or larger hail, and maybe a few tornadoes. So definitely stop back here in the morning. Again, thank you guys for all of you guys who have subscribed. Thank you, Blessed, for subscribing as well. You are a big help as well as everybody else who has subscribed in the live stream here as we're talking about this as well. Definitely much appreciated. Thank you who just subscribed to the YouTube channel. 329 subscribers. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Again, we're probably going to be live here till about 10 o'clock this evening. I think we'll probably start to wrap up the live stream at 10 o'clock so I can get that video out to you guys. I'll be going over a lot of model data for hours and hours on end probably tonight to try and get that video out to you guys in the morning. And then I'll have that video out in the morning again, probably between 8 a.m. and 10 o'clock, in the morning, Central Daylight Time. I know I got a lot of digging to do with all the model forecasts out there and a lot of kind of analogs to look over before I do that video. Let's look at the 8RW here. And the ARW, it's the same way. Southern portions there of Wisconsin, northwestern Illinois. That's just what it looks like, guys. I think most of northern Wisconsin should be spared of at least the most significant severe weather, although the threat is not clear whether or not how far north it'll go, as well as south. So I think southern Wisconsin, you're kind of in the middle of that zone. I think of that enhanced risk if it were to be up to me. So that's kind of what we're looking at here as we move farther along here. So thank you guys for subscribing and liking it up. Much appreciated, guys. If you guys have not subscribed, definitely press the subscribe button. I know I say it all the time, but definitely we're trying to get to 500 subscribers. And again, we couldn't do it without you. So definitely please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Let me look. I'm going to look at a couple things here using the NAM 3 kilometer. What does the Cape look like here? Wow. So yeah, there's still 4,000 Cape as this move, but the NAM 3KM has been pretty quick. It's been pretty quick moving some of the stuff through. So that is interesting as well. But look at the purples here. That is instability of over 4,000 joules per kilogram. Look at all the lift out with this as well. Look at the lifting mechanism with all these purples, pinks, and maroon colors. we got a lot of lift, and that's with a very strong cold pool. Of this kind of complex of storms will be feeding off the outflow boundaries and a lot of that stuff tomorrow. So that's kind of what we'll be watching. Let's see what the shear values show. This is bulk shear. Yeah, it's supporting bulk shear over 100 knots. Wow, northeastern Iowa. That's why the Storm Prediction Center has the potential of winds over 75 miles an hour. And it is not, guys, it is not out of the realm of possibility for localized wind gusts up to 100 miles per hour tomorrow. It really is not out of the realm. With all this large cape or convective available potential energy, it's like food to these complexes of storms. And yeah, we'll definitely see the potential of winds that could be as high as 100 miles an hour tomorrow. That'll be more isolated. It won't be widespread like that. But definitely, probably widespread 70-mile-an-hour winds is probably what we're looking at. That's for sure. A lot of shear coming in tomorrow, a lot of instability, and just generally a lot of energy coming in for severe weather. Looking at the lapse rates, this is kind of the cooler air as you go up aloft, and we're seeing some lapse rates up to around 8.5 degrees Celsius per kilometer, which as you go up in the atmosphere, what we call mid-level lapse rates is where we have cooler air as you go up through the columns of the atmosphere, and the faster they cool off, aloft that's what we call lapse rates, and the stronger they are, the more it supports the large hail potential. That's why we have the large hail. It could be over 2 inches in diameter, and it could also, when you have drier air and cooler air aloft, that can be, moved down towards the surface. All the momentum from the mid levels toward the surface. Yeah, we could have that very strong downburst wind potential with a bow echo moving through potentially tomorrow as well. I would not, and I know I haven't mentioned this much here today as well, very much. I wouldn't rule out the potential of an upgrade to a moderate risk, and if that were to be the case, let's go to the outlook here. If this were to be the case, I think they would shift the enhanced risk a little farther south, and they would actually include a moderate risk in northeastern Iowa, extreme northeastern Iowa, and southern and central Wisconsin. That's probably where the moderate risk zone would be if they did upgrade to a moderate risk. That's just my current thoughts right now. I'm not saying they're going to go to a moderate risk. I do not work for the Storm Prediction Center. I'm just kind of a general guy on YouTube here, talking about meteorology and stuff like that and the weather for you guys. But like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a moderate risk. Again, like I said before, I do not work for the Storm Prediction Center, so I do not make that call. But there could be the potential for one, so I could definitely see that supported here by this event tomorrow. Again, my current thoughts, if there were to be one, it would be across extreme northeastern Iowa, southeastern Minnesota, and southern, maybe parts of south central Wisconsin tomorrow. So if you live in Madison, Prairie du Chien, getting up to Rochester, you're right in the middle of where that moderate risk could be if there was an upgrade tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow morning sometime. So otherwise, there'll be an enhanced risk, and we'll just continue to watch it for you guys as we kind of move a little bit farther along. So let's get here to the north again. All these storms east of Minot really starting to weaken a little bit, but still golf ball size hail and 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Still pretty significant here. We did have a large tornado warning. This has kind of been allowed to be canceled, but it looks like the potential is there. Like I said, for this, these spin-up tornadoes potentially along these areas. Again, you're in that 2% area of tornadoes across northern and northeastern portions of North Dakota here through the rest of the evening hours, so we'll continue to watch that. Blessed says, coming right at me. It looks like it. It honestly really does. So definitely keep your tabs on the radar. And again, I'll be live tomorrow for you guys, covering this here as it moves through, most likely. So definitely turn all your notifications on, guys. And I will be probably live tomorrow afternoon as well. They actually did. I just didn't realize that. They extended downstream. They extended the severe thunderstorm watch toward Grand Forks and north of Fargo. So Devil's Lake, Grand Forks, Red Lake Falls, getting up toward Thief River Falls, the Grafton area here, Cavalier, Halleck, as well as down toward Mayville, Cooperstown here, into Minnesota and eastern North Dakota. They actually extended the severe thunderstorm watch in this pink shaded area a little farther to the east, downstream from these storms across this area right now. And this watch actually goes in effect here until 4 in the morning. So if you live in Grand Forks, Mayville, Cooperstown, Devil's Lake, Cavalier, Grafton, all these areas, even into portions there of far northwestern Minnesota, north of Fargo, we're actually seeing the severe thunderstorm watch in this pink shaded area here. This is going in effect until 4 o'clock in the morning, Central Daylight Time. So we could expect conditions favorable for large hail, damaging winds, and maybe spin-up tornado in this area here. So definitely want to have multiple ways to receive warnings. Unfortunately, I won't be live till 4 in the morning. That's a very long time from now. I'll be doing a video for you guys, getting that ready for you guys in the morning. So definitely turn all your notifications on for that. Like I said, again, more of a reason for you guys to to subscribe to the YouTube channel, as I do post a lot of videos, most likely usually like every single morning. I did not do one the other morning just because I was looking over so much model data for the upcoming event. I didn't have time to, but most of the time, about 99% of the time, I post a video once or twice, maybe a day, every single day. So that's another reason for you guys to subscribe to the YouTube channel. And again, much appreciated, guys. If you guys have not subscribed, all you got to do is press the subscribe button down below once. And again, we're trying to get to 500. Here's my new goal. So if you guys would so kindly press the subscribe button, that would definitely be much appreciated. Again, we don't just cover severe weather, we cover tropical weather as well. So if there's a landfalling tropical system like a tropical depression, tropical storm, hurricane, major hurricane, anything along those lines, getting close to the United States or, into the Gulf or the Caribbean, we'll definitely be going live for even tropical weather systems, as I know the hurricane season will also be ramping up as we get towards August and September as well. So that's something to note. Again, another reason to subscribe as well. And we got a new tornado warning in the northwestern Kansas. We got to watch for this. Again, this is actually a confirmed tornado, guys, near Plainville, Tennessee, or Plainville, Kansas here. We have a confirmed Weather Spotters confirmed tornado in northwestern Kansas. This is a damaging, ongoing tornado on the ground in northwestern Kansas right now. So if you live in these areas near Plainville, definitely heed the warning, guys. You have a tornado located right over the Plainville area here in Kansas. Or 24 to 25 miles here north of Catherine, Kansas. This is moving southeast at 10 miles per hour, so it's a slow-moving storm, but there is confirmation. A weather spotter has confirmed a tornado on the ground right now in the Plainville area. So if you live in Plainville, Kansas, you have a tornado potentially right now on the ground. Probably a weak tornado, but definitely continue to watch this here. If you live in Plainville, I'll take this off here. We're probably seeing a tornado right along the leading edge of the squall line here, kind of moving through northwest Kansas right now, into the Plainville area. So if you live in Plainville, Kansas, again, in northwestern Kansas, there is an ongoing tornado on the ground in progress here in northwestern Kansas right now. So definitely heed the warning. Again, this is in Plainville. Again, I'll put the warnings back on for you guys to see. We have a tornado warning polygon here. Right in the middle of that is Plainville. So if you live in Plainville, Kansas, just right along Highway 18 east of Zurich, Kansas, and Highway 183 in Kansas here, intersecting Highway 18 right through the Plainville area here in Kansas. Yeah, we're talking about a tornado in progress right now, so definitely heed the warning if you live in these areas. Again, other than that tornado warning, we do have a severe thunderstorm warnings for 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and 1-inch quarter-size hail. This is moving southeast at 20 miles per hour. That tornado itself and the tornado warning that's moving southeast at 10 miles per hour. So again, a tornado is confirmed by weather spotters in the Plainville, Kansas area as we speak. The tornado is in progress. Again, right along the leading edge here of this line of storms, we have that tornado warning and the tornado in progress on the ground in Plainville, Kansas. So definitely heed the warning right along Highway 18 and Highway 183 intersection there in Plainville. And it's probably moving over Plainville as we speak right now, that tornado. So again, a tornado is on the ground right now in northwestern Kansas and Plainville, Kansas, right along Highway 183 and Highway 18 intersecting there on the north side of Plainville. We have a tornado in progress. Weather spotters confirmed tornado in progress in northwestern Kansas right now. We'll continue to watch this, guys. Very nasty line of storms moving through here right now. But in addition to that tornado warning, we still got 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. Earlier on, near the Hill City area, we actually had an 82 and even a 76-mile-per-hour wind gust here with this kind of line of storm. So this storm, complex has had a history of producing wind damage and even potentially, some tornado damage as well. This tornado looks to be on the ground, at least confirmed by weather spotters in the Plainville area. So this storm complex is starting to grow a little bit more into a wind threat, but still a tornado threat here along kind of the leading edge of this, and this is something we could see tomorrow as well. Kind of the leading edge of that, line of storms even tomorrow could be kind of rotating like this as well. So we'll continue to watch that tornado warning. Again, anybody new here, we got a new severe thunderstorm watch up near Grand Forks, north of Fargo, so Cooperstown, Mayville, Devil's Lake, Grafton, Grand Forks, getting over towards portions of northwestern Minnesota toward the Red Lake Falls area, Warren, Hullock, all those areas are in that severe thunderstorm watch here in this pink shaded area until 4 in the morning. So a very long-lived severe thunderstorm watch here for the next 6 hours or thereabout here for these areas, as this kind of smaller MCS or mesoscale convective system kind of moves across northern North Dakota right now, and it's producing golf ball size hail and 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts here along this kind of squall line or kind of MCS kind of complex of storms moving through northern North Dakota right now. So that is something we're definitely watching. Again, guys, if you guys are in the live stream, the live chat is open to anyone and everyone. So if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, do not hesitate to ask, because I will be, able to answer all your questions here. I've been able to get to everybody's questions as well. Again, like the live stream down below, definitely means a lot to me, as well as subscribe to the YouTube channel. All you got to do is hit the subscribe button one time, guys. Again, I will be live tomorrow, so turn on all of your notifications by hitting the notification bell or anything you have to do for that. Turn on all your notifications. I will be live tomorrow late afternoon and especially tomorrow evening, covering that severe weather threat live for you on air here on the live stream for you guys tomorrow afternoon. Again, we still have that tornado warning here. Very nasty complex of storms moving through northwest Kansas. This is well west of Salina, Kansas, north of Dodge City, well northwest of Wichita, and west of Topeka, Kansas City. Kind of get your bearings on where this is. Again, a tornado warning with a weather spotters confirmed tornado on the ground here right now near the Plainville area. So we'll watch that right now. This warning goes in effect here for southeastern Rooks County in north central Kansas here. Until 10:30 p.m. Central Daylight Time. So the next 25 minutes, that's what we're watching here for the potential. Looks like a tornado could be on the ground. Again, weather spotters have confirmed this in the past few runs, so we'll watch this. Again, I was planning on staying, planning on cutting off the live stream here, but I did see that tornado warning, and it looks like we'll be live until this tornado warning does decide to be canceled or expire. Once this tornado warning does expire, guys, I probably will be kind of ending the live stream and kind of getting some rest before another probably long day of severe weather tomorrow. We'll probably have a longer live stream tomorrow afternoon and evening. So if you guys want to tune back in, tell family, friends, and anybody that you know, spread the word out there that I'll be doing a live stream later tomorrow afternoon, probably about 4 o'clock or thereabout, probably 4 p.m. Central Daylight Time, or around that time frame, and going through much of the evening hours here during the height of the severe weather event. Tomorrow as well. Again, we're going to be live until this tornado warning does decide to expire, so at least till 10:30. This could be unless it gets canceled earlier than that, then we'll be kind of cutting the live stream off. But again, along with the tornado warning, we got 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail in this area as well. This is all moving southeast at 20 miles an hour, and really just all of it moving southeast as we speak right now. They did extend that severe warning just to the east of Stockton of Kansas here. Again, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail with this as well, moving southeast at 10 miles per hour pretty slowly. So we'll continue to watch this over the next few minutes as well. This warning goes in effect for southeastern Rooks County as well in north central Kansas until 10:30 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Mainly in the open areas here, southeastern Rooks County. That's what we're seeing right now. Again, I know everybody's tired out there. It's getting towards the the overnight hours. It's after 10 o'clock Central Daylight Time here, and just turn on all your notifications. And definitely, like I said, tomorrow I'll cover the severe weather well into the evening hours, most likely, and as well. Like I said, if you guys have any watches, warnings near your area now, keep your phone alert during the nighttime. If you have a NOAA weather radio, keep that handy, as well as if you have any other ways to get weather watches, warnings as well overnight for severe weather. Definitely keep that handy here if you live in some of these areas around where the severe weather is occurring this evening in North Dakota or Kansas, and even in that marginal risk zone from Chicago all the way back to Lincoln, Nebraska, here, Omaha, and Des Moines, getting all the way over here towards southern Wisconsin, towards Madison. Definitely want to watch out here for some severe weather potential later on tonight. So do turn on all your notifications, and as well as kind of keep your weather radio on if you do have it, if you live in those areas, for some severe weather overnight tonight. Very important, because you guys do not want to be going to sleep with severe weather moving on through, especially if you have these tornado warnings with confirmed tornado. And I know these areas in Kansas near Plainville, some of these people might be asleep. So definitely, if you live in this area, wake them up and tell them there is a tornado on the ground because weather spotters have confirmed it. And it looks like as well, they did confirm it, but it looks like here the new update to this tornado warning is now gone radar indicated. So it's just tornado possible with a quarter-size hail potential. So that is some good news. It looks like the tornado that was on the ground, confirmed by weather spotters, has weakened. So there's probably not a tornado on the ground anymore. But still could regenerate, so we'll definitely watch it again. Still, if you live in the Plainville area, still heed the warning there, even if you're just under that severe thunderstorm warning or tornado warning. Treat this like it's a, treat all these severe thunderstorm warnings like they're tornado warnings here because these could spin up very quickly this evening. And definitely, like I said, turn all your notifications on for any of the severe weather alerts out there as you go to bed. For the weather radio, if you have the NOAA weather radio or any kind of weather app that you have, to wake you up here this evening and overnight, in case you do have these tornado warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings, and even the watches, severe thunderstorm watches or tornado watches posted overnight. You definitely want to be aware of that after you go to sleep. So definitely kind of keep your phone handy to you and kind of turn up the volume on it in case you get some of these warnings, severe thunderstorm warnings overnight, and even the tornado warnings. Again, this tornado, it looks like it's no longer on the ground, so just a tornado, possible, and also quarter-size hail possible here. Radar indicated now in this area here near Plainville or 22 miles north of Catherine, Kansas. This is, again, still moving southeast very slowly at 10 miles per hour, but definitely want to heed the warnings in these areas, that is for sure. So that is some good news. And again, we might see this same type of thing tomorrow. And we still got to watch the southern end of this here. You got a little bit of a hook there too, but it looks like it's kind of contaminated a little bit by rainfall. So if there were to be a tornado spinning up here, at least in the leading edge of a lot of these lines, a lot of the times here when you kind of have these tornadoes spinning up on the leading edge of the line, they're not very strong. They're usually between EF0 and EF2 strength. But still, I mean, even an EF0 tornado can do lots of damage out there. And even straight line winds can do lots of damage. So you definitely want to heed the warnings, and that is for sure. Again, this tornado warning does expire here at 10:30 within the next 19 minutes, so we'll continue to watch this again here over the next few minutes, but it looks like it's no longer in effect here of being on the ground anyway across those areas. Zooming out, that's really the only severe weather we got here. Kansas and North Dakota right now, with that severe thunderstorm watch extending into northwestern Minnesota. We could have some downstream severe weather moving into those areas after midnight, so definitely be on high alert there if you live in northwestern Minnesota. Other than that, we're going to probably be starting to wrap up here the live stream. Again, thanks to everybody joining the live stream here this evening. Thank you guys for liking the live stream, subscribing to my channel. I definitely appreciate it, guys. We're up to 329 subscribers. Again, you guys are awesome. Thanks for the 30 likes out there, guys. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thanks to everybody in the live chat. I'm going to go through here and thank everybody individually for joining. Bless it all, as well as Wilson Dog. Thank you guys for joining the live stream. Again, bless it all, Wilson Dog, Grace Goodrich, as well as Dixon here, Drew Ferguson. Thank you for Weatherman, as well as Roger. Thank you, Mr. Tanks, as well as Christian. Thank you all, and also here, BDT Gaming. And thank you guys for joining the live stream chat today, making it very interactive. You guys rock, and I definitely appreciate it. Again, join me back here tomorrow. I will be covering the severe weather later tomorrow afternoon and most, if not all, of tomorrow evening. Again, turn all your notifications on for that. You can also follow me on Twitter. The Twitter handle is below here in the live stream if you want to follow me on Twitter. I have more weather information there as well that you guys can have handy as well. All right, everybody. Hope you have a great and safe evening out there. If you live in Kansas or North Dakota or anywhere in these severe weather risk here today or this evening, definitely heed the warnings and have multiple ways to get warnings overnight. All right, everybody. I hope you have a great rest of your evening and rest of your night. Have a great rest of your weekend if I don't see you tomorrow. And again, I'll be live tomorrow. Until then, I'll talk to you guys later. Good night.